Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Northman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Northman.
A great day to be alive on this Tuesday. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name is Ben Brust. Alongside me, Packer backer, Wisconsin backer, happy-go-lucky Kyle Wallace.
What up, KBN Nation? Happy Tuesday! No tacos for me, though.
Okay. Love your wet blanket duds that you start the show with.
Maybe a dud to you, but some people enjoyed it. You can't speak for everybody in KBN Nation. Who the hell are you?
Longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl 50 runner-up. You got anything more engaging than no tacos for me?
I do. I get a lot of peace and joy knowing that all the way in Florida, Alex Strofe and his lovely new fiance listening to the show. Maybe not currently, but they're going back. They're taking their time to listen to our segments, talking about them yesterday. Just knowing that Alex Strofe, somewhere out there in the ether, is hearing our voice one way or another, makes me happy.
Loser.
There we go. That's the Kyle I like.
Well, he's a company man, Kyle.
Who gets engaged and then goes down to Florida?
What are they saying about me?
Only to wake up within 2 days of being on vacation and listen to your job? Like, what, at 8 o'clock in the morning?
That's actually a very valid point.
Yeah,
That's the
and they
last
both
Disconnect,
work here.
please.
I like the idea of them sharing a coffee under the warm Florida sun. They hear Kyle and Ben and my voice.
Bro, they need to be listening to, I don't know, like information on how they save money, how they build for family. Like,
Kyle,
there's so much more you can be doing. It is
You
75
ain't alive, Kyle.
degrees. Like,
You're not alive.
You about to do something special. Talk about your future. Don't sit here.
You
want
to go to
us.
Florida ever again?
Right.
You
Like,
better change your habits.
yeah, you know how quickly I would get yelled at if I opened up the app to listen back to the show at 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm hanging out with family.
That's fair.
What are we
That's fair.
doing?
As much as I love KBN, Lexi and I aren't sitting over coffee.
We know,
listening.
Brad. We know.
I come back. What'd y'all talk about last week?
You got 3 kids to take care of.
That's also true.
I guess, to be fair, I was listening to the show every day on my honeymoon.
Well, you would jump into YouTube and start commenting.
Now,
Shocking.
Well,
You've done that once or twice too,
granted, it's when you're on the beach and you chilling. Usually it's not at 8 a.m. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're usually laying down in the sun. You say, well, what they talking about? In chat, he went back to go listen to a full segment.
Yes, the show was over by the time Maybe I got in live and chatted, but a lot of times I was just like, hey, I'm laying around the resort. Like, I'm going to toss it on for something to listen to and stay in the know. And also, Micah Parsons just got traded to the Green Bay Packers while I was gone.
Well, and I will say, the time that our show is on, 2 to 5, you're talking about that's prime carbless drinking time on vacation. So that's a really great time to tap in. The one time I did tap in, if we all remember, was right after my vocal cord surgery. I was still way off in La La Land from all the drugs. I was popping in. I was texting you guys. I was in there.
You're feeling good.
In those moments of, maybe you're not thinking 100% clearly, that's really fun to kind of tap back in and see what we're talking about.
And yes, for those who are just catching up, Alex Strofe did get engaged over the weekend. He is out all week, so Chris Larson is in running the show. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. List is more. You can get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, and of course the ESPN Wisconsin app. Now, I agree that this needs to be talked about because it's just, how are we already here on February 17th with disrespect for Jordan Love? You know why I'm mad about it? Because I put a lot of the blame on the loss to the Bears to Matt LaFleur. Obviously, that's been talked about a lot, not just from that game, but the trends we were seeing from him as a late game execution and head coaching standpoint. But if Jordan wins that game, there ain't no way in hell he's on NFL.com and Kyle's going to share the results of where Jordan is ranked after the 2025 season.
Yeah, right now I'm learning that the NFL.com sometimes can be irrational and ridiculous. They did a whole ranking of the QBs for the season. They used not only the regular season, but postseason performance. So they use two different equations in order to determine the tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different tiers that they have in the top 63 quarterbacks in the NFL. Every quarterback that started a game in the NFL was placed on this list. Now, when we look at Jordan Love's season performance, what would you fellas think he would be ranked in?
Ooh. I mean, at minimum top 10.
Minimum. Probably closer top 6.
They've had my...
You ever done this before?
They had my boy Jordan Love ranked at not top 10, but number 14, and they put him in tier 3, behind the lights, and this is based off playoff performance and also based off the regular season
Real
performance.
quick, how did he do in the playoffs? I know they didn't win, but how was his performance?
Jordan Love playoff performance was so good that he had the most yards per game in the playoffs for all quarterbacks when you average it. Now, granted, it was only one game, but he still went out there and he balled out and he had 323 yards. Jordan Love had 4 touchdowns, and he also had 0 interceptions, and with those 4 touchdowns and only playing one game would put him tied for 4th place for the most touchdowns in the playoffs. And again, he only played in one game. He threw 0 interceptions, had 0 turnovers in that playoff game. So Jordan Love was magnificent in the playoff game, but for some reason, NFL.com is doing our boy extremely dirty, got him behind the likes of a guy like Justin Herbert, who we all know Justin Herbert had a down year this year. Trevor Lawrence played well, but when you look at his playoff performance, it was mad, wasn't on par with the same that we had with our boy J. Love. Throughout the season, did people put Sam Darnold ahead of Jordan Love during the regular season?
Hell no. He led the league in takeaways.
But somehow he was ahead of him.
Giveaways.
And then the most egregious one that they had on the list, they had Caleb Williams in top 10 and Jordan Love behind him. Did they not watch these games? Did they not watch the playoffs where Caleb Williams literally threw the game away for the Chicago Bears in the playoffs? And if the Packers offense would have got going and defense didn't fall apart, they would have beat him too after he threw multiple interceptions against the Green Bay Packers.
Forget the playoffs. Look at the whole body. This is also the whole body of work of the season.
Patrick Mahomes, we love Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes had a down year this year. He didn't get hurt until the second to last week of the season.
And he played the team. The whole team was bad all year.
And so I'm just confused. Lamar Jackson ahead of him Lamar Jackson could barely play this year. He was extremely unhealthy. They had Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow missed a big chunk of the season this year. And
all those guys are ahead of Love?
All of these guys are ahead of Love. Daniel Jones, who, again, he had a good start to the season, but he still wasn't better than Love. So what I'm trying to figure out is how is there so much disrespect for a guy in Jordan Love when the lights are brightest, he performed at an extremely high level. A guy who was top 6 in overall passer rating. A guy that was top 3 in QBR. A guy, when you watch the eye test, you know how good he was for the Packers. He was tied for top 3 in 4th quarter comebacks, and if it wasn't for Jaden Reed dropping a pass, if it wasn't for Christian Watson not going over the middle and putting his body on the line for the Packers would have beat the Chicago Bears. And so all I'm saying is it is idiotic and it is irrational for people to ignore the fact that Jordan Love was an absolute baller this season, and at a certain point he was top 3 in MVP projections. Or I should say, what is it when they had it for
top
the
3 odds?
MVP odds this season.
Going into week 15.
And somehow he was 14th. 14th? Do y'all realize he tied a franchise record for the Green Bay Packers for most consecutive completions in a game? 20 straight with Brett Favre? And you going to tell me that season was 14th best? That's crazy. That's crazy. Ridiculous.
Kyle, I mean, I couldn't agree.
Does the NFL writer have a Twitter handle?
Somebody shook.
What's
his name? His name was somebody shook. He must be a Bears fan and an idiot. I can tell you that much.
Because you're exactly right. I'm not going to rehash a lot of what you said, Kyle, because I agree with it completely. The big thing is 3rd in MVP odds going into Week 15 against the Broncos. Now, obviously, the first half of that game, you're like, ooh, Jordan Love's playing pretty good against a really, really good Denver Bronco defense. Micah Parsons got hurt. Things fell off a little bit. Then he only played a quarter and a half against the Bears. And he was out the rest of the season until the playoff game where he balled out.
Which is, by the way, I think equally as impressive of what he was able to do, sitting out as long as he did and playing as well as he did right off the gate.
Off a concussion. Off a concussion. He missed 2.5 weeks.
Didn't miss any rhythm. Right, boom. 4 tutties.
You have
300
routes.
plus yards.
You have 2 routes when it comes to like evaluating and ranking quarterbacks. Either you rank them by like, hey, their whole body of work. So then you're going to have like Josh Allen and Mahomes and all those guys. Yes, they will be ahead of Jordan Love. Or you can take just the season as it is. It sounds like this is just the season as it is. There is no way that you can convince me on either list, honestly, that Jordan Love isn't a top 10 quarterback. And especially if you're only going to take in 2025 and the playoff push, he's easily top 10, probably closer to top 8 or top 6. Yes, there are some guys that were outstanding like Drake May and Matthew Stafford, but Jordan Love is among the greatest resources that this Green Bay Packers team has. Without him, all this talk of Super Bowl, all this talk of championships, it's gone. It's out the window. It's not coming back. Even with Kraft or Micah Parsons down, there's still a prayer that they could make a run. But
their leading pass catcher that you just mentioned, Tucker Kraft, went out this year. And then Christian Watson steps in off an ACL. Like, he did it with different pieces throughout the year as well.
They never had full arsenal.
Like, Tucker Kraft was on track to have a 1,000-yard season. We had all been asking, will there be a pass catcher that goes over 1,000 yards? The Yak Daddy, top 3 in the league, with all the wide receivers, running backs. Tucker Kraft was top 3 amongst all skill position players in yards after contact. And so, again, I'm with Kyle here. I try not to get too caught up in like where people are ranked, but when it's so egregious,
crazy,
like where it's like you got to lose a little credibility here when you're putting him as low as he was.
And it's ridiculous some of the people that he is behind, especially when we're talking about this season. We're not talking about overall and their skill set and their talent, but we're talking about this season.
Rehash a couple of those because you went through them quickly. There's a lot to take in. So rehash the ones that are the most egregious.
The most egregious ones, it's Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence had a great year. Sure, you can have that. Sam Darnold, Caleb Williams, Joe Burrow, who was injured a lot of the season, Lamar Jackson, which everybody would admit and himself would admit the reason why they struggled this year.
He couldn't run.
He was not healthy.
Himself.
He was not himself.
And also,
Patrick
they
Mahomes
never
and Daniel
connected
Jones.
in the passing game.
No.
Like they were
too.
out of rhythm all year as well. And he has changed the narrative about who he is as a passer. He's pretty damn good, but he never found rhythm with that offense.
And we talk about the offensive line issues that the Packers had. The Chargers with Justin Herbert had offensive line issues as well. But Jordan Love found a way to still elevate his team and flourish and play really good in the brightest moments. Now, Houston defense is a different one than the Chicago Bears defense, but still Jordan Love in the playoffs, he stepped up. And the progress that he continues to show is what makes me confident for the future for this football team. So when I look at the fact that they got Jordan Love 14th, ranked behind some of these mad quarterbacks, is absolutely ridiculous. It is out of touch, and you did not actually watch these guys. You got caught up in the hype and the excitement. You cannot.
Prisoner of the moment. If the Packers win that game, which I don't put on Love, I put on the majority of the coaching staff and special teams and Matt LaFleur not figuring out a way to execute an offense when they were literally just sending guys and blitzes when they were down because they had nothing else to lose. You've seen the Bears come back before, and you let it happen again in an even bigger moment. They got as the play caller, he could have put Jordan Love in a better spot to be successful, but Jordan Love's stats and how he played tells that story.
In the
top 3 in
test.
MVP odds. Again, eye test, everything would tell you. QBR, as you mentioned, quarterback rating, as you mentioned. Without Jordan Love, he's nobody's. We did this a lot in his first year, where it was like, well, Brock Purdy, look at all the weapons he has. Like Jordan Love, like Brock Purdy couldn't have come to the Green Bay Packers in 2023 and did what Jordan Love did his first year as a starter.
No.
And the goalpost continues to be moved in how Jordan Love is evaluated year after year. And here's the thing, Kyle, is what I've come to realize is the only way he's going to get out of it is a deep playoff run. That deep playoff run separates him and puts him in the category of those higher regard from a long-term status, because those long-term status people get the benefit of the doubt, even if their overall season wasn't as good as Jordan Love. So that Herbert thing is interesting because he hasn't had that long playoff run because he was that coveted pick and the offensive line wasn't as good. People find reasons to not put Jordan Love where he deserves to be.
Yeah, they really don't. And you're right. I mean, the game that he had with the Bears, very memorable because of how good he was, but that wasn't the storyline. Even 3 years ago when he played against the Cowboys, that was such a great game, 2-7. Cowboys were two seed that year, a very good team. But those wild card matchups, elite performances are forgotten often. It's divisional round, championship round, and Super Bowl. Now, those are remembered, and those stick in people's brains, because even as I think of as the list you made, Kyle, that were ahead of him, Herbert, Daniel Jones, Caleb Williams, Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, all those, or Sam Darnold, all those guys had legit weapons around them. And as you think of what Jordan Love had this year, he had an injured Josh Jacobs, a bad offensive line, a revolving door of wide receivers to throw to. So he never had continuity, and all the rest of these guys have like legit dudes in Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor and, all the people that the O-line and running backs for Chicago. Like, all these guys have other complements that if you removed them from their team, you could probably plug and play with another quarterback, and they could probably keep it going. Yes, Malik Willis played admirably, but he couldn't do it over a long term with the guys that Jordan Love had to work with. So even more reason why he's more valuable and more of a coveted quarterback than these guys on the list.
And the thing is, Jordan Love, in less passing attempts, was extremely effective. When you look at the top 15 guys who threw touchdown passes this year, you will see Jordan Love is towards the bottom of the list for actual passing attempts that he had, and he did it in 2 less games than a lot of these other quarterbacks did. We just have to understand how good that we have it, and I don't understand when folks are going to wake up to the talent that the Packers have with Jordan Love, because if the Packers had one of these other quarterbacks like a Trevor Lawrence or a Baker Mayfield or Justin Herbert, I don't believe this football team is as good as they are with a Jordan Love. So Jordan Love, he's going to get it. He needs to get respect.
I am fascinated by this reaction now.
People don't think he
threw for 3,300 yards. Let's be for real. Well, he was injured in some regular season games.
3.5 of those games.
These guys are clowns. Nailed it. Then I'm seeing some Bears fans jump into the ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube. And again, I think it's a funny narrative that's been painted around Jordan Love year after year. He was the darling on ESPN after they won against Dallas. The darling. It was him and C.J. Stroud after Stroud's rookie year and Jordan Love's first year starting. Then he had an up and down season, which was still pretty good in his second year. He was injured, and the team did not achieve success against any of the good teams in the NFL. And then last year, it was the most consistent he had been all year. We did a poll every single week on Twitter at KBN ESPN. This season, and this season only, is Jordan Love elite, great, good, or average? And he was consistently in the great. And now we're getting him 14th in the NFL after the season. This is as Tausch would say, a palmy world, a very prisoner of the moment world. Have to continue to dissect this and the feelings towards Jordan Love, because I agree this is a disrespectful list to the body of work throughout the overall season of Jordan Love.
Had 323 passing yards in a playoff game, 4 touchdown passes, and 0 interceptions, and was able to lead his team downfield to have it felt like a commanding lead, only for the kicker to mess it all up and guys not to catch the ball and not to finish because of not Jordan Love, but the team around him. So we can't put that on J. Love.
There's nobody that can doubt Jordan Love's greatness. There's no one that can doubt the greatness of Carbless, because Carbless is the go-to ready-to-drink cocktail that is oh so good. It's the one I go to. It's the only thing I drink because it is so good. It's a guilt-free experience. That's important to me, KBN Nation. No carbs, no sugar, only 100 calories, of course gluten-free, and the oh-so-perfect carbonation. Not so much it's going to upset your stomach like so many other options out there, but just enough to quench that thirst. It's the Goldilocks amount of carbonation. It must be tasted to be understood. Not only that, bold flavor, that is Carbless written all over it. As much as I've been saying I love the Blood Orange, and I do love the Blood Orange 4-pack, the demand is off the charts, KBN Nation. All these different retailers is getting sold out. People are saying, hey, I'm looking for Blood Orange. I'm grabbing the last one of it. So get out there and get your Blood Orange, because it is off the shelves. It's going like hotcakes. And guess what? If you go there, if Blood Orange is sold out, get Cranberry. Cranberry is another one that's top of my list. It's so good, so refreshing. Every sip, you're going to see why Carbless is always bold on flavor. Go ahead and enjoy your Carbless, because less is more with Carbless.
Bill and Delvin on the Carbless Talking text line. Did they only look at Caleb Williams' last 2 minutes of each game? Maybe.
Had to be.
We'll continue on. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I've seen some of those jersey checks.
You were a punter.
No, I haven't. I've seen them.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home Blow and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
February means big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Upgrade your home with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, new siding, or a beautiful bath makeover and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings, but only for a limited time during our February winter savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com now. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
40,000 people. Let that number sink in for a second. That's not a crowd, that's a small city. But they chose relief without surgery. 40,000 people who said stop before replacing their knee or hip. There has to be another way. And they found that at QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. It's those 40,000 patients who thought that they were out of options and surgery was the only answer. But today, they're moving better, hurting less, and getting their lives back thanks to QC Kinetics and their advanced regenerative treatments. The truth is, surgery isn't always the answer. QC Kinetics and Dr. Ashley Caravelli is right here in Milwaukee, using safe, natural treatments backed by real science. Treatments that activate your body's natural healing powers. Safe, natural, and non-surgical. And this is critical. The sooner you start, the faster the inflammation will ease. So it's important to get started now. 40,000 people can't be wrong. Before you say yes to surgery, call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call now at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Imagine working with a contractor that quits halfway through a project or never calls you back when you have questions, or worse, takes your money and you never see them again. Unfortunately, we hear about them all the time. Hi, this is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and Siding Unlimited is absolutely not that company. Siding Unlimited has been doing business for 32 years, proving to be an honest, ethical, and forthright company. If you're looking for the honest guys for your next siding, windows, roofing, and doors project, stop by sidingunlimited.com today.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season.
The Golden Eagles couldn't close in a 96-88 defeat at Xavier on Saturday afternoon. Marquette was able to cut it to 87-83 with just over 2 minutes left, but could not overcome Xavier's hot shooting. Here's head coach Shaka Smart after the loss.
They made 11 threes in the first half, which is altogether too many. And once you give a team that type of rhythm, it's much, much harder to slow them down. I thought our defensive effort was better in the second half. And obviously offensively, we were able to get a lot of things going in the second half, but way too big of a hole.
Marquette will now look to play spoiler as they return home to host 17th-ranked St. John's on Wednesday night.
This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season. Check out the Golden Eagles watch party schedule at gomarquette.com/BWW.
Make your fitness goals last with Johnson Fitness and Wellness, the largest specialty fitness retailer in the country with 5 locations in the Milwaukee area. At Johnson Fitness and Wellness, you'll find top-rated treadmills, strength equipment, ellipticals, bikes, and more, all guided by certified fitness experts who match the right equipment to your goals, space, and budget. And with white glove delivery and installation, plus flexible financing options, you can build your home gym with confidence. Visit one of their stores today or online at johnsonfitness.com.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All right, so a lot of discussion after NFL.com had after the 2025 season in totality, regular season, playoffs. Jordan Love being 14th on their list of all quarterbacks that started the game. Got me thinking, who's the best at their job of this trio? Goody, LaFleur, or Love? Who's the best at their job? Coaching the team, playing the quarterback, and running the organization as the general manager.
Yeah, maybe I'm Palm right now.
Are you Palmy right now? I knew after Kyle did his research and he had the QBR and the quarterback rating and the numbers, and he was going to be like, you know what?
Well, to me, it's obviously Jordan Love because when I look at
obviously they just extended Mr. Gutekunst and Mr. LaFleur.
And listen, Jordan Love got a big old extension after one season, and so when I look at what Goody did, Goody for me, yes, he made a great trade, but this past offseason and past draft classes, he can't be the best one because this team I feel like is underperforming due to the work that he has done. And then when I look at Matt LaFleur, some of the decisions that he made, that's the biggest thing we have issues with is his time management, decisions. Even in that game against the Bears when they picked up the first down, I think it was after Romeo Doubs, or maybe it was the play after that, and he called the timeout early, and it was the last timeout, and the Packers are only on like the 40. So now you got to drive downfield with the clock ticking, and you don't have any more timeouts versus trying to spike the football. Some of the time management decision-making that he has had, I feel like it has cost the Green Bay Packers. And so when I look at Jordan Love has consistently gotten better. One issue that he had was decision-making and turning the football over. And what did he clean up halfway through the 2024 season? He made better decisions, and he stopped throwing interceptions. Now, some people might say, well, that was only for a little bit. He went this whole season where he only threw 6 interceptions. He didn't have a lot of turnovers for the Packers. Did he make bad decisions at time? Yes, because that comes with playing quarterback. But I would say out of the three of him, he is the one that I trust the most to lead this team. And the biggest knock that I have on Jordan Love is he doesn't take the bull by the horns by the what is it? Bull by the horn?
Bull by the horn.
He don't take the bull by the horns. But like, shut up.
What did he say yesterday about Strofe? He's got the old chain and ball.
Oh yeah,
chain and ball and chain. Sometimes I wish he took more control over the offense and just kind of shoot off Matt LaFleur and say, I got this. I'm going to take command of this. That will be a knock on him, not his overall game performance, but I want him to take more leadership role in the sense of this is my team. I'm going to call the plays. I'm going to dictate what's going to happen. I'm going to trust myself because I know exactly what I want to get out of this team, and I'm the only one that can get it out of them. So when I look at those three, I think it's clear to me it's J Love, baby.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Of this trio, who is the best at their job? Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst, or Jordan Love? 800-990-3776. Take your calls and texts. And, of course, on YouTube, at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison.
You know, I'm torn between Goody and Love. LaFleur, unfortunately, just has
Let him go.
Now,
hold your breath, Kyle.
LaFleur has too many flagrant issues when it comes to coaching, motivating, making changes, end of game, blowing leads. Like his regular season is so good that you want to say him, but he disqualifies himself with all those things. I'm torn between Goody and Love. I'm going to go with Goody. I'm going to go with Goody. And Jordan Love is very good.
Okay. I can't wait to hear this.
Only a GM between the three of them that has legit foresight and thoughts about where is my organization going to go? Being able to say, you know what, Aaron Rodgers, end of his career. I'm going to draft Jordan Love, the guy that you said is the person who's best between them. Goody gets some credit for that. He gets some credit for having some cojones.
Yo, he doesn't even believe what he's saying. You hear him? You hear his voice? He's laughing.
And going for Jordan Love. How about also 2 first-round draft picks for Micah Parsons, a generational pass rusher?
Yeah, because first-round picks always suck.
How about Tucker Kraft? How about finding an future all-pro tight end in Tucker Kraft? How about finding a right tackle in Zach Tom in a later round who is going to be on the verge of all-pro? How about Edgerrin Cooper, Xavier McKinney? You've got guys, Evan Williams, who's on his way to being good.
We need a 30-second timeout.
Hold on. I'm going to land the plane. You went from an organization that has built a championship team under Rodgers, and you have built a team that is knocking on the door of championship level under Jordan Love. That is insanely hard to do in the NFL. Almost no organization can pull that off. Goody pulled it off.
So with what Brad has said, there is some validity to what Brian Gutekunst has done. But I also spent the entire day asking you questions about the Green Bay Packers roster heading into next year.
Perfect.
Well,
I mean, Jordan Love throws interceptions and Cleveland
so now you're just gonna attack Jordan Love. Is what you're gonna do. My overall point is I'm pretty sure NFL.com. You sent me the article. Packers are 30th in cap space. We see all the free agents that they have. Yeah. How are they going to replace those? They're going to reshuffle their offensive line. They don't have a first-round draft pick this year, so that's another asset that they don't have. The misjudgment in signing Nate Hobbs and Aaron Banks heading into a big championship window season. Who knows if the depth could have been good at that secondary and helping in that offensive line, which was porous and in pass blocking and protecting Jordan Love. So, yeah, there are some positives to Goody finding Jordan Love and going out of I wouldn't say comfort zone because this is what the Packers have done in the past. Of when they drafted Rodgers, when Favre was at the end, they did it when they knew they were getting close to the end of Rodgers. But he's gotten them to 3 straight 7 seeds with his roster, so I guess maybe that goes towards LaFleur for not doing enough with what he's been given by Goody, but I don't know, man.
I would point to LaFleur.
I didn't think Goot Stan Brad would be coming out. What about the egregious special teams?
Now,
as a special teams guy yourself, the emphasis that he's put on special teams,
hard to defend.
Isn't that a really important part of the job? Is making sure you hit first-round draft picks that can contribute to your team, not just drafting them potential and then having them walk 4 years later?
That is important, but it's not like Jordan Love is the all-pro quarterback and without blemish either. I mean, he makes bad interceptions. He makes bad decisions sometimes.
Whoa.
He had 6 of them things this year.
6.
And he had some get dropped.
He did. So Jordan Love is great, no doubt about it. But Brian Gutekunst, for what he has done, now we could nitpick his decisions. First-round draft picks, not very defendable. Now, Jordan Morgan, we're going to see if he's that tackle. This is supposed to be his position, is on the outside now. Matthew Golden, criminally underused by Matt LaFleur, so that's not necessarily his fault. But there are so many. What he has done, you have to zoom out for a minute. Zoom out from Brian Gutekunst. If you would have been told in 2021, at the end of that season, you're just on this run, this team that was built for Aaron Rodgers, and you had, 2 MVP years and all that kind of stuff, and you felt like the great years of Green Bay Packer football were in its twilight, you would never believe that they would be back in contention. Jordan Love playing really good football. You've got studs all over their roster, and thinking that in any given year the Packers could be legitimate Super Bowl contenders. Brian Gutekunst is the one that manufactured that team.
Brad, he followed the formula that was laid out for him.
He still needs to do it.
You had Brett Favre. You drafted Aaron Rodgers. You have Aaron Rodgers. You draft Jordan Love. You have an organization that
has for him to draft Jordan Love in that moment.
It's what we do. You have a great coach in Matt LaFleur who, in my mind, gets more credit for the development of Jordan Love than Goody does. And based off what we saw out of Malik Willis, which I give Goody credit, maybe Goody has a good eye for quarterbacks. I don't know, ask Sean Clifford. But he was able to find Malik Willis, and guess who refined the skills of Malik Willis? And while Malik Willis is about to get paid maybe in Miami or maybe in Arizona or maybe going somewhere else, it's because of what Matt LaFleur was able to do for him.
But we know that Goody's the one that does. Matt LaFleur has no say.
Let's slow down for a second here because I don't think this conversation is over. Today's poll question of this trio, who is the best at their job? You can find this at KBN ESPN on Twitter. Matt LaFleur has 0% of the vote. Goody has 13% of the vote. And Love has 87% of the vote. Very curious as to see what the YouTube poll says, what Twitter says, as the debate is rolling on YouTube and, of course, on the Carbless Talk and text line at 800-990-3776. I'm curious, who is best at what they do? Best at their job of this trio, Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst, and Jordan Love? Because I would say by the ranking of Jordan Love in comparison early in the voting, that would be very telling that the fans think that, without saying it, that Ed Policy did a disservice to Jordan Love by extending both Goody and LaFleur. If he's able to dominate and run away with this poll of saying he's better at his job than the GM and the head coach. We'll continue to hear from you, but first I'm going to tell you about how excited I am with the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a year of growth in 2026, well, that's where the Princeton Club comes in. Because if you're looking to have that strong body, a strong mind, and a strong community and grow, you got to have a foundation of a healthy body. And in New Berlin, in the Milwaukee area, 1 meal for 1 workout. When you check in, 1 meal will be donated to New Berlin Food Pantry. They have a ton of Madison locations. Every single location is different in what they can provide you. So check out the Princeton Club. Look to grow with a foundation of a healthy body in 2026 at the Princeton Club. Join for your better tomorrow. Who's best at what they do? Goody, LaFleur, or Love? That's next on Kyle Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
I'm a seam head now. You can call me whatever you want.
Seam head?
I don't even know what that is.
That means I'm a baseball dork. All I do is sit and watch MLB Big Inning at night.
Head.
I've never heard that before.
This is because you're not a seam head.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing up the third tournament of the season with another can't-miss event and $1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Olson, inviting you to a two-man scramble at the iconic TPC Scottsdale, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's spacious state-of-the-art simulator. Sign up now at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and teams must get their round in by February 28th. Your chance to take on TPC Scottsdale starts today at wisconsindoorgolfcenter.com.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
At Citizens Bank, we believe banking is more than transactions. It's about being recognized and remembered. It's feeling like you're understood and supported along the way. It's the small stuff that says, we know you. Because when your bank gets you, banking just feels better. Citizens Bank. Bank where you belong. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/belong. Citizens Bank is member FDIC.
This Valentine's month, Milwaukee Weight Loss is sharing the love with $300 off during our Valentine's sale. Now through February 28th only. It's the perfect time to fall in love with the result-getting Milwaukee Weight Loss program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. Whether you want to look great for Valentine's Day, an upcoming event, or just for you, you can start losing those unwanted pounds right now. No more losing weight and gaining it back. This program helps you keep the weight off for good. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation today.
Josh DiMaggio here, and I have already lost 15 pounds since I started this journey in mid-January, and now it's your time to show yourself some love with $300 off. But hurry, this Valentine's sale ends February 28th. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call 262-235-3980 now for your free consultation. That's 262-235-3980 or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf & Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruber's offices. One call, that's all.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Green and Gold Hall of Famer.
It's been very, very rough, I think is the nicest way to put that.
Solving the world's problems one day at a time.
Go find somebody that can excite you and get your group ready, period.
It's Mark Tauscher.
Well, that's why you're not the GM.
On Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
That's right. The Packer Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champ, host of Wilde Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations, is joining us now on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Old T, what's going on?
I don't know. That's a new open, and I know we're doing royalty free, which I love, but I don't know. I really like the old one where we're hanging up on each other. I'm a little torn.
I agree. Strofe is, engaged now and gallivanting across Florida, so that feedback won't get to him for a while.
Oh, Strophe got engaged, did he?
He did.
Wow.
Is this
he didn't
news?
Tell you?
Yeah, no, I had no idea. That's good because from what everybody said from the jump on Strofe there, he was way out kicking his coverage. So it sounds like he did a smart move here in getting locking up a long-term deal. I think everybody that probably knows him is probably thinking, I don't know how you pulled this off, but kudos to you, Strofe.
I don't care. I don't care who it was. Just like his happy-go-lucky, every day's amazing nature. I'm just glad. I know that sounds like crazy. Like who wouldn't want that? I'd get sick of it.
She was vulnerable at the moment.
Well, all I know is it literally didn't matter where you went or who you talked to in the GKB ESPN Milwaukee universe. Everybody said the same thing about Strofe. It's like, I can't believe she's dating him.
We basically did the first segment that like we were thinking like, how? Like it's him.
It's a
like,
great underdog story.
Him, man. Yeah,
the combine drill, like everything he's done would say
well,
like
it ain't even that. I mean, he's hey, kudos to Strofe. That's all we can say. Right?
Now, of course, Tausch, as we head into the offseason, things come out, and I think this is unfair based off the fact that the NFL.com having every quarterback ranked that started a game had Jordan Love 14th, utilizing regular season and playoffs, and some of the names ahead of him, whatever. But it's a level of disrespect that I feel like is unfair to Jordan for how consistent he was throughout the year and for what he did in the playoffs in that one game he did play. But then it got me thinking, who's the best at what they do between the trio of Goody, LaFleur, and Love? We polled that. I'm curious as to who you would say.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think there'd be anybody that if you'd asked me this a year ago, I would have told you Goody. And then the way the offensive line and kind of how everything played itself out, I think all are very good at what they do, but nobody has been great at what they've done. And I think they've all had different phases in their, 7-8 years. And then with Jordan, it's 3 or 4 as a starter, 3 years. So I would argue right now, I think Jordan Love is probably at the top if I had to pick right now. But that can all change quickly. It can change if all of a sudden we, go crazy next year and have a great season. And if Goody crushes it with the draft and everything else. But as we sit here right now, I think off of last season, the fact that, our offensive line kind of fell apart the way it did and Micah got hurt and some of the injuries and the depth that wasn't there to kind of fill in and get wins, I got to go Jordan.
NFL.com, Tausch came up with an article that discussed the NFL offseason resource rankings, basically ranking all 32 NFL teams in how much resources they have with cap and draft capital to remake their team in the offseason. And Green Bay Packers came in at 30th. What's your concern level for sort of the lack of ability to pull the strings and use your resources for Goody this year to try to remake this 2026 team better than 2025?
Yeah, I'm not concerned at all because I think that's looking at this thing from, like, if it started today, and I think there's going to be, obviously with Elton Jenkins and Rashawn Gary, and there might be a couple of other guys that you end up kind of reworking and doing some things to get more cap space. Yeah, you don't have a first-round pick, but I think all of us would say, yeah, Micah Parsons definitely worth that first-round pick when he gets back healthy. So I'm not overly concerned. I think that with the restructuring and some of the things that you can do creatively with the cap, I think if Green Bay wants to go out and get a player, they're not going to obviously be able to go and free spend like you normally would like to. But I think if they have somebody that they really want, whether it's a center, a corner, if there's somebody that they really want, they'll figure out a way to bring that player in, and then they'll still have the draft capital that they've had in the past. So I'm not overly concerned about that part of the NFL.com ranking system.
But are you concerned, Tausch, about the Packers' ability to rebuild this offensive line? Because I would say, looking at this offseason, that is probably the number one priority for this team, to make sure they're protecting Jordan Love and opening up lanes for Josh Jacobs to run through. Do you think they can actually get it right this offseason versus what they couldn't do last offseason?
I would say of all the concerns, that's at the top of the list. And we don't know if Sean Ryan's going to come back. This morning on our show, I kind of mentioned if you can get Linderbaum and he's a free agent, you could pay him. The going rate will be $17 or $18 million a year. I think it'd be well worth it. And that kind of goes back to what Brad's question was. You figure out a way, because all of a sudden right now, this offensive line went from, 2 years ago, you're thinking it's pretty good. And then the playoff game in Philly happens and you reboot it. And Zach Tom is dealing with stuff. He's having a surgery. So he was the one guy that you felt great about. Elton Jenkins is more than likely gone. Your big free agent pickup, there's debate whether or not you're even going to pay him the bonus that you owe. I think they will. And you're going to have a left tackle that hasn't played left tackle very much in Jordan Morgan. So, concern level should be high. And that is, if I'm Goody, that's the first thing that I'm going to make sure I get this thing solidified. And you're not going to be able to replace and get everything fixed right away, but you definitely, I think, need to address that position and get better. And whether that's going to be young players developing and you hope that that works out, or if you have to go make a big splash, that group needs to improve in a big way heading into next season.
Do you think they're an offensive line away from being a top 5 offense?
I don't even know how far were they off from being a top 5 offense last year. I think they were top 10, right?
16th or 14th last year.
In what?
Yeah, the run game.
Total offense.
The run game just wasn't good enough. So that group needs to be better in that area. And I said, about how we couldn't finish and the games that we let slip away. A big part of it is because you couldn't run the football at the end of games. The 4-minute offense is what we would call it. And that's where you win. That's how you close up shop, and you don't put all the pressure on your defense to make stops. You keep the football, and we just weren't very good at that last year. So as far as is the offense going to be better if you can run the football more effectively, Benny? Obviously, there's no doubt. Now, how you go about doing that and getting there, that's the big offseason question.
Well, I want to stick to the how because I heard Bulaga on Monday with Gabe Neitzel on the Homer Hour yesterday. And, when Jacobs came in, obviously he was healthier and they did a lot more outside zone with Aaron Jones. Like, do you stick to the way that you're running the football with Josh Jacobs, or do you make him sort of go outside his comfort zone? Or I know you have to go what's best with the talent, but it hasn't been as successful as it was running the football.
Yeah, I think everything needs to be looked at. Matt LaFleur came into the league with that kind of, the Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. That system was in play, and I think that's what he wants to do. But wisely, especially 2 years ago, you adjust to what your talent is really good at, and Josh Jacobs was really good with some of the duo blocking and some of the other stuff that we've talked about a bunch. But right now, it wasn't good enough last year, so you could say, well, we have to adjust. If you're ripping off 1,700 yards, yeah, okay, we'll adjust. If you're 700 or 800 yards and you're not really very explosive, I think then you need to look at everything. Obviously, it starts up front, but you need to look at everything, your scheme, what you're asking your guys to do. Does it fit with the body types that you're getting? And does it work with the tailback that you have? All of those things need to be in question because if that group doesn't get a lot better, I don't know how much better the offense will be, even with Tucker Kraft and Watson being back healthy.
Tausch, I'm still thinking about your comment about signing a guy like Linderbaum who might be $17, $18 million per year. If you are Goody, are you taking all of the assets that you're going to get from cap and restructuring and all that kind of stuff, putting it to that position or even just that singular big splash purchase, and then kind of go discount shopping and hope the draft works out for the rest of the areas like D-line and cornerback that needs to be addressed?
Yeah, if I can get him, I want him on my team. You saw what he's been able to do. You know what he is. You know how he plays. He's young. He's just getting into the prime of his career, and we saw firsthand what Baltimore did to this Green Bay defense when they came into town. He's really good, and I would argue he could be a force multiplier in the fact that, maybe you have Belton at guard and he's young. You don't think he's going to get better playing next to a stud top-of-the-line center? Yeah, he will. And that, I'm sure, would also carry over to Banks if he comes back. So at some point you want to take hold and say, we have our guy we're going to build here. And you did that with Zach Tom. Obviously he got hurt and we don't know how he's, when and how he's going to be back. So that position right now is as big of a flux as we've seen it. And if you could solidify it with someone in the middle, centers, that's a lot of money. But in the grand scheme of things, guards, Aaron Banks is making more than that. A really high-priced, top-of-the-line center is incredibly valuable when you're talking about running outside zone and reaching nose tackles and shades. that can really help solidify and make everybody else's job a heck of a lot easier.
Anything you got for us, T?
I thought that was a really good performance by me. I think I can end it on that.
Hey,
I thought that was good. Really good, Tausch.
Kudos to Strofe. Yeah, I'll end it with this. Kudos to Strofe. Congratulations, Strofe.
Congratulations to Alex Strofe. And I'm sure Gina Dell from Pella had a great time at Booth 420 at the State Fair for the home show. So we're going to talk about Gina next.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and if you went to Booth 420, you know exactly how inspiring everything is that Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin has, and meeting Gina Della from Pella herself. But if you know what, if you missed it, guess what? You've got a top-of-the-line showroom in Brookfield at the Pella Experience Center that you can go and you can be intimately acquainted with all of Pella's own wonderful products. You can be inspired with how they can change your home from the inside out, and you can enjoy top financing options like this one that ends at the end of the month, 0% for up to 4 years. You get to see how exactly Pella is going to change your home from the inside out and to see everything that Pella Windows and Doors has for you. So go to the Experience Center, give them a call, visit them online. So many ways to see what Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin can do for you.
Well, once an hour of this show, we're going to give away something very exciting. As it was just announced, hot off the press, that Thanalysis Live is back on March 27th at 7 p.m., starring Ric Flair. Woo! I was going to woo myself, but I'm glad you did it. So we're going to give away 2 tickets to Thanalysis Live at the Riverside Theater coming up next. So don't go anywhere. Get those dial-in fingers ready. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
Woo! This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
What is used to measure the loudness of sound?
It's a meter.
You're so close. Up to the D.
Decimeters.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
A Road at Night is a documentary chronicling former Badgers player and coach Howard Moore and the 2019 tragedy that forever changed his family. You can see it on the big screen at Marcus Point Cinema in Madison, February 13th through the 19th, with exclusive post-screening panels during the opening weekend. A Road at Night, February 13th through 19th at Marcus Point Cinema in Madison. All proceeds support Howard Moore's ongoing care. Find showtimes and get tickets right now at aroadatnight.com.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
This is Coach Greg Gard. Strong teams succeed with the right partners. Bank CMG works closely with Wisconsin business owners, offering local insight, modern tools, and honest guidance you can trust. They take the time to understand your goals and help you build something sustainable. Whether you're managing cash flow, planning for growth, or navigating change, having the right banking partner matters. When your business matters, your bank should too. BankCMG.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Come grow with us at Glenroy. For more than 6 decades, our family-owned company has built its reputation on quality, reliability, and providing strong career opportunities in our community. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Here, you'll find competitive wages, a clean, modern workspace, fully vested 401k, yearly bonus award, and the chance to build a manufacturing career with purpose. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You gotta go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Thanalysis Live is back. Very excited as TA is bringing a show to you, as he does every year. This year at the Riverside Theater, March 27th at 7 p.m., featuring Chris Rick. One more time. Woo! So now is your chance in the 2 p.m. hour, because we're doing this at 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. and those hours as well. 2 tickets to the Riverside Theater, Thanalysis Live with Thanasis Antetokounmpo starring Ric Flair. Woo! Caller number 10 will win 2 tickets. March 27th, 7 p.m., Thanalysis Live, Riverside Theater, 800-990-3776. That's 800-990-3776 to win 2 tickets to Thanalysis Live at the Riverside Theater. Yes, Kyle?
Were you a wrestling fan?
I couldn't tell you a lot about Ric Flair.
See, I felt like you didn't understand, like, the fact that the Nature Boy is going to be coming to Thanalysis Live. Styling and profiling. Woo! Figure 4, Ric Flair, baby. Me and my brother used to wrestle, and we used to try to put each other to figure 4.
Yeah, that's 800-990.
I was not a wrestling guy either.
Oh, my God.
You remember that, Brett? Nope.
Yeah.
We're going to learn about it on the 27th, 800-990-3776, and caller 10.
He is an entertainer.
But, like I said, hour 3, or hour 2 and hour 3, which is 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock hours, will be giving away more of these tickets. These are pre-sales. You can't even buy them right now, I don't think.
You can't buy them. He's a riot.
So when I played for the Jags, the owner, the Khan family, they like own some wrestling arm, whatever. They're like buddies with Ric Flair. So he came and spoke to our team one time after practice. Bro, he still, I like knew who Ric Flair was and stuff, but he still got it. Even talking to like us with no cameras or anything like that, he's got swagger, he's got energy. He's going to be so great with it.
Did it remind you of Matt LaFleur's post-game locker room speech to the Wisconsin Badgers?
Yeah, exactly like that. Just, you know.
Every time you step on that court, you play like that. You be tough, a really tough team to beat. But that was fun to watch. Keep it rolling now, one day at a time.
I close my eyes. Is that Ric Flair or is that Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, no, let me tell you. Ric Flair would have had them hyped up. Hyped up. I'm telling y'all. He said styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling, and dealing, son of a gun. I'm having a hard time keeping up with all these alligators down here.
He is one of a kind. That's going to be a fun show.
So stay tuned throughout Kyle, Brust, and Ortman today to win some tickets to Thanalysis Live. Obviously a big guest, and I can't wait to feel that infectious energy in person come March 27th. So now it's time to get a caller for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? What am I, 2, 3, and 2?
2, 3, and 1?
2, 3, and 1.
2, 3, and 1.
And the goal is to get a win per month. So I can get ahead of pace by winning this week or next week. 2 more times in February to get the 3rd win.
He did well last week. The other person just did better.
Yeah, I heard he cooked. Absolutely cooked.
Well, he didn't win, though.
Yes.
The other guy.
You know, still 2, 3, and 1.
The brain's been sharp.
It has been. It's been very sharp for some reason.
Well, the maestro, Alex Strofe, is gallivanting in Florida. We've got the original, well, not the original maestro, but the original KBN maestro.
A maestro at one
Chris
point.
Larson cooking the questions.
Chris, are you trying to, like, beat Ben Brust, or are you just trying to write questions?
I'm just trying to write questions that are not easy, but not too difficult.
But you want him to lose, right? Like, you don't, or do you not care?
I don't care if he wins or loses. I just want it to be fair.
He wants to be fair. ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
I don't want to be fair. I want to be confusing. I want him to be tricked. I want him to be duped. I want him
That
to
means
take
the caller could be duped.
Well,
because if Chef Ed, he's going to be duped.
If I recall from previous episodes of this show, I've always been accused of writing tough questions.
Okay.
So I'm assuming today will be no different.
Yeah.
You like that?
I'm the only one that have seen them outside of Chris Larson, and pretty good.
Brad approval?
Pretty good.
All right, let's go.
Can you read them?
Caller number 8 for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? 800-990-3776. That's 800-990-3776. Caller 8 to play Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? You get 15 questions in 90 seconds. You're allowed to say skip or pass if you get through all 15 questions. With either Brad or Kyle, you get to choose who is going to be reading the questions to you. You can come back to them. Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? In 2 short minutes. Caller 8, 800-990-3776. We'll talk to you in 2 minutes. Are you smarter than Ben Brust?
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
Many wins. Many wins. Waiting at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This February, you could break the bank and get down with a share of $300,000 in prizes. Bust out your rewards card and play to earn entries. It all goes down with Thursday drawings. Break the bank. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season.
The Golden Eagles couldn't close in a 96-88 defeat at Xavier on Saturday afternoon. Marquette was able to cut it to 87-83 with just over 2 minutes left, but could not overcome Xavier's hot shooting. Here's head coach Shaka Smart after the loss.
They made 11 threes in the first half, which is altogether too many. And once you give a team that type of rhythm, it's much harder to slow them down. I thought our defensive effort was better in the second half. And obviously offensively, we were able to get a lot of things going in the second half, but way too big of a hole.
Marquette will now look to play spoiler as they return home to host 17th-ranked St. John's on Wednesday night.
This Marquette Minute is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season. Check out the Golden Eagles watch party schedule at gomarquette.com/BWW.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
You're kicking it with KBN here on a Tuesday afternoon. I am Brad Nortman. Right in front of me, Kyle Wallace. Behind the glass, Chris Larson. Maestro for this week of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? Ben Brust has vacated the studio, found himself in a place where he cannot cheat, he cannot look. We got to turn those screens for when he comes back, actually, Kyle, now that I see that, because the integrity of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust is of the utmost importance on this program. So, this is Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? He is 2-3-1 going into it. This week we have Kyle in Kenosha, second-time contestant who is 1-0 against Ben Brust, so that is a good start. Let's go ahead and spin it. Chris.
For those of you who say Ben Brust is an idiot, here's your chance to be proven right. It's time to play Are you smarter than Ben Brust? Presented by Lakeland University. Don't put your life on hold to earn your degree. Build a schedule that fits your needs at lakeland.edu. Also sponsored by Geist Garage Doors, your local trusted garage door company for over 70 years. Don't think twice. Call Geist.
That's right, this is Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, presented by Lakeland University and Geist Garage Doors. Here's how we play. 15 questions in 90 seconds. Get as many answers correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass. We will come back to it if you get through the rest. Kyle and Kenosha, if you beat Ben Brust, you're going to win an ESPN Wisconsin prize package. Now you know the drill, Kyle. How are you feeling, number one? Number two, who do you want to ask the questions, me or Kyle Wallace?
What up, my brother Kyle?
Kyle, let's go, Kyle.
All right, let's do it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Haven't looked at the question, so Brad is disappointed. I got him, Brad.
Okay, Kyle's got him.
Chris sent me.
I'm sorry, Brad. Hey, congratulations, by the way, on your inductee into the High School Hall of Fame. That's awesome.
Thank you very much, Kyle. See, I know no hard feelings whatsoever. It's a Kyle to Kyle kindred spirits right there. So it is all good, my man. Good luck, and just make sure you beat Ben Brust.
Let's go, Kyle and Kenosha. You know what it is. Are you smarter than Ben Brust? You have 90 seconds.
I already said all this, Kyle.
15 questions. This case, skip or pass. Here we go. We'll start the clock in 3, 2, 1. Name the planet where 1 year equals 88 days on Earth.
We'll say Venus.
What is the capital of Nevada?
Las Vegas.
What is the chemical symbol for salt?
Na.
What is the Roman symbol for 1,000?
M.
What is the name of a scientist who studies soil?
Pass.
What is the scientific name for the upper bone?
Pass.
What U.S. state is the largest?
Texas. Alaska.
What kind of animal is a turtle?
Amphibian.
What is the primary language spoken in Brazil?
Portuguese.
What is the root word of the word indecision?
Decision.
What geographical system helps you find a position on the map using longitude and latitude lines?
Pass.
Heat is a form of what kind of energy?
Thermal.
Budapest is the capital of what European country?
Repeat that again.
Budapest is the capital of what European country?
Hungary.
All right.
What do we got him for?
I think we can give it to him.
What do you mean give it to him?
The last one.
Yeah. Counts if he gets
I have a question though about which one was it here? It was number 8. What kind of animal is a turtle? He said amphibian, but the answer is reptile. So do you want to give him that one?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't. Is a reptile and amphibian the same thing, Bradley? I don't.
Let's Google that.
I was gonna say I don't know. I think you did pretty good, Kyle. I think you did pretty good. I'm glad you got the last one. I was trying to get you to this next one, number 14. You may have or may not have gotten it.
Technically, amphibians and reptiles are different.
All right. Well,
all right. So then he's got 5.
All right. No.
It's good.
It's gonna be close.
To be fair to Kyle, you messed up on one question.
What was the question?
It was the what is the scientific name for the upper arm bone? You said it's upper bone.
You said was it for the upper bone?
Okay, well I'll say upper bone again. I don't know.
Or we could give him 5 seconds to guess.
Yeah. Do you know what
is the scientific name for the upper arm bone?
Femur? No, I think that's leg. I don't know.
That's all good.
Okay,
so 5.
Okay, there we go. Now it's fair across the board.
Sounds good.
You know what, Kyle?
I was trying to scribble it.
Those are tough questions.
Those were
are tough questions. Chris, can you just let Ben know?
Good luck finding Ben.
Is he usually in the Truth Studio?
Ben,
or is he wanderer?
He wandered today.
What, Kyle? What did I say before, Kyle? I looked at these and said these are tough questions.
These are
tough questions.
A lot of what is.
Yeah.
Chris
is no joke when it comes to being the maestro of this. I thought 6 would win it. 5 is going to be close.
5 is going to be very.
It's an impressive.
There's just something. The one that he really got was the Roman symbol. That is one that's going to help. Like, Ben's not going to know most of these.
He's not going to know.
The only one that's really going to kill him is the capital city of Nevada. Ben will know that it's not.
I texted him to come back, so hopefully he should be back here in a minute.
Okay. I'm not sure he'll know it's Carson City.
No, he will not. He'll get Portuguese. He may get Alaska. He's not going to get. He'll get hungry because we've gotten that one.
There.
Speaking of, I was just doing I woke up at 4 a.m. and went down a rabbit hole. That's when I found out Reverend Jefferson Jackson died. I was like, oh no! And then I found out the election in Hungary right now is crazy. Crazy.
What's going on with the? Well,
we'll talk.
Let's
about
stop you there. Oh yeah. Oh, Ben, very good on the integrity of the game. What's that on that other screen? Is that the call screen?
That's the call screen.
Okay, here we go. Ben is back. He flipped the screen. We forgot to do that. I can see already on the text line. I got 8 from Chef Ed. That's
good job. Chef Ed.
I'm not sure I believe it, Chef Ed, but
me and Chef Ed have repaired our relationship, so I'm not going to be negative and not believe that he got 8, even though he's never gotten 8 when he called in.
Well,
less stress.
Ben is back. He's facing Kyle in Kenosha. Who's 1-0 against you, Ben? And Kyle in Kenosha asked for Kyle Wallace to ask
I didn't read the questions at all until it was time to go.
All right.
I'm going to let Brad rock and roll, but
you're that limited?
I did okay.
One mess up, but we corrected it.
One mess up. But here we go, Ben. You already know what it is. 15 questions, 90 seconds. You can say skip or pass, and we'll come back to it in the end. Are you ready for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
Ready as I'll be.
All right, here we go. Chris, start the clock in 3, 2, 1. Name the planet where 1 year equals to 88 days on Earth.
Neptune.
What is the capital of Nevada?
Carson City?
What is the chemical symbol for salt?
NaCl.
What is the Roman symbol for 1,000?
X.
What is the name of a scientist who studies soil?
I took soil science in college. I don't know. Pass.
What is the scientific name for the upper arm bone?
Upper arm bone? I'm stupid. Pass.
What U.S. state is the largest?
Alaska.
What kind of animal is a turtle?
It's amphibian.
What is the primary language spoken in Brazil?
Portuguese.
What is the root word for the word indecision?
In.
What geographical system helps you find a position on the map using longitude and latitude lines?
I feel so dumb.
Heat is a form of what kind of energy?
Heat?
Heat is a form of what kind of energy?
Nuclear.
Budapest is the capital of what European
Hungary.
country? At which time zone is the state of Montana?
Mountain.
Who was the first vice president?
George Washington, John Adams.
You passed on a couple, didn't he?
No, he
That's all right.
No, he didn't.
Ben pulls it out 7-5.
You did.
What?
Yeah, you won.
I got 7?
You did pretty good.
Yeah,
you did pretty good.
The last two were, especially the last. That's why I was trying to get him to the last two. The last guy.
3 and 1. We're on. Dude, this is a great year for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
I mean, you did good.
You did good.
You did good.
Woo! Woo!
Good.
I was cheering for Kyle, but you did good.
Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, who's very smart, is brought to you by Lakeland University, Wisconsin's leader in flexible, personalized education. When you're starting college, finishing your degree, or balancing work and family, Lakeland lets you earn your degree your way. Lakeland University, experience it your way. Now, give me the answers.
I'll give you the answers. Name the planet where 1 year equals to 88 days on Earth. It is Mercury.
Mercury?
Yep. Mercury.
Mercury?
Mercury.
Mercury?
Mercury.
Mercury.
Oh,
Mercury.
God. Just keep going.
Keep going, I will. What is the capital city of Nevada? Did you know it was Carson City?
Yeah, I mean, is that
Carson City?
Because I was in between Reno or Carson City.
I was hoping you were going to say Reno, but you hit Carson City. I knew you wouldn't think it was Vegas. What is the chemical symbol for salt? Boy, good job. NaCl.
I've always known that one.
That is very
Kyle just said Na, so it's close, but not close enough.
What is the Roman symbol for 1,000? I don't know how the guy got it right, but it is M. What is the name of scientist? What is the name of a scientist who studies soil? Obviously, you failed at school. Somehow you graduated.
Soil science was definitely one I had wandering eyes.
Pedology? Yep, didn't know. What is the scientific name for the upper arm bone? The ulna?
Ulna. Okay, yeah.
What is the U.S. state that is the largest? Alaska. What kind of animal?
It's always between that and California and Texas.
Yep, and you got it right. What kind of animal is a turtle? A reptile, like reptar.
Reptar.
Or I'm reptar.
Good pull.
Yeah, I know, right? What is the primary language spoken in Brazil? You already know that one. Portuguese, you had it 1,000 times. Now, this was the interesting one that made Brad chuckle.
This was funny.
What is the root word of the word indecision? I get where you got it from. You said in.
Decision?
The root word is decide. Decision would have been a better answer. Yeah.
Just to say, like, in, which is funny.
What geographical systems help you find a position on the map using longitude and latitude? Coordinate system.
Coordinate system.
Heat is a form of what kind of energy? You didn't know. And this is where you're breaking down, think you didn't do well.
Yeah.
You said nuclear, I don't know. Thermal. Budapest is the capital of what?
Almost played in Budapest.
Yes, and that's how you knew it was in Hungary.
This was a heater to end it.
It was. This is what won it for you. At which time zone is the state of Montana?
I was just in Montana.
Mountain Standard Time Zone. And who was the first vice president?
My guy.
John.
My uncle's uncle.
John Adams. And Ben, you got the dub.
3-3-1.
More than pacing the over-under of 12.
Wow.
12.5 is too low.
Are you smarter than Ben Brust? Also sponsored by Geist Garage Doors. For over 7 years, Geist Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit geistdoors.com and don't think twice. Call Geist. I'm feeling really good. I feel really, really good.
We'll do that for you.
I mean, look, you got the dub.
Got the dub, and onwards we go. We'll revisit the poll we had at some point later in the show, but I think this is very intriguing. Evan Skip Bayless Cohen of Unsportsmanlike, Skip Bayless Cohen, joined Wilde Tausch today and had some things to say about Jordan Love that is on the theme of disrespect today towards Jordan Love after NFL.com had him 14th in their rankings of all quarterbacks that played a snap last year. So Evan Skip Bayless Cohen of Unsportsmanlike, who joined Wilde Tausch. We'll hear from him next.
Woo! This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
He is now off his rocker saying it. Well, if I played...
Choke artist. That's what you both are. Yeah, I said it. You both are choke artists.
Losers, choke artists.
That's what you are. You
frauds,
choked against
what else are
TCU.
we?
You choked against Oregon. You choked against Kentucky. You choked against Duke. I can keep going.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Starting off with a broken down semi on the northbound side of 4394, right about at 6th Street. The right lane is blocked with this, so be prepared for some delays heading through that area, pretty much from both directions. Southbound 43 is slowing down from just north of Locust all the way down through the Marquette past that disabled semi. We've also got the right lane blocked on 794 southbound at Oklahoma Avenue with another broken down vehicle. Westbound 94 slowing from 27th Street all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. And the eastbound side, we've got backups with delays from about 76th Street all the way to Hawley Road. A crash on 894 southbound right about at just past Beloit Road on the right shoulder. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, showers likely, maybe thunder, a low of 44. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny, windy and warm, a high of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home, Blow, and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at Brewers.com.
Make your next activation or event a slam dunk with Captivate Exhibits, your leader in transforming spaces and creating brand experiences that truly stand out and connect. If you can dream it, Captivate can design it, build it, and activate it. From trade shows and events to enhancing interior spaces like your lobby, history wall, or break room, Captivate Exhibits turns ideas into highlight reels. With over 32 years of award-winning experience, Captivate delivers every time, always beating the buzzer. Get started with your next big idea today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. No Alex Trophy is now recently engaged, gallivanting across Florida. Congrats to Alex. I feel like I've given him like 18 million congrats and 18 opportunities for KBN Nation to say, we love you, Alex. Because I know he's listening to everything possible.
It's one of those things where it's like saying Happy New Year. How long do you keep saying it until you stop saying it?
Well, and that's the thing is he's going to come back on Monday and do it again.
He's going to get more. He's going to be so
He's going to be
excited.
so giddy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, let the kid have it, man. He probably never dreamed he would get married to a woman. He'll be a robot or something. A little AI bot.
Yeah, he's going to fall in love with chat.
Yeah.
800-990-3776 is the Carbless talking text. And we speak with Strofe in such high regard here on Kyle, Preston Nortman. YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Earlier today, every Tuesday, 9:30, TMZ Evan Cohen joins Wilde Tausch. You hear him on Unsportsman like Michelle Smallman, Chris Canty. Our guy Evan Cohen talked to Wilde Tausch about Jordan Love. And after we discussed Jordan Love earlier in the show, this fit right in.
I'm really down on Jordan Love development. I'm not down on Jordan Love specifically the person or like.
He got markedly better this year, Ev. He was markedly better this year than he was last year.
They're just okay. To their credit, they are achievers. They don't underachieve, but they don't overachieve. They're just achievers, and it's kind of driving me crazy that I remember sitting here a year ago with you guys, and we had this exact conversation about if we're here again in this same position a year from now, that's when the hot seat conversation comes. That's when you wonder, was he worth the money? And we're doing the same damn thing over and over again with the contract extension for the coach and for Jason, the GM, like if we're going to be critical. Like this is just, I'm like, I don't want to say I'm bored of this because it's never the wrong thing to talk Packers and Jordan Love, but I'm bored of the fact that you guys don't have tangibly a new conversation to have because they have not given you one. And how you guys are not frustrated by that is beyond me. You guys are having the right conversations, but I don't understand how you're not bothered by this franchise that has had so many great players and quarterbacks specifically that they're not giving you anything new to talk about. For the last 3 years, it's what is Jordan Love? What is Matt LaFleur? Enough with this already. I feel like I'm in that Ryan Tannehill Dolphins conversation I had when I was living in South Florida. I'm still not – no, I'm not comparing the player. I'm comparing the conversation. Where every year it's like it was like, I don't know if this guy's going to be good or not. And this is just, it's brutal. In my case with Tannehill, talking about them living in South Florida, it was, I don't know if he's going to be good. In your case, it's, I don't know if he's going to be great.
That's it.
So it changed a couple times. Is good enough, and then I don't know if he's going to be great. Now, I think he is pretty spot on from an organizational standpoint about achieving, maybe not overachieving, right? I mean, it's hard to argue when they're 3 straight 7 seeds, but there is some context of the first year of Jordan Love, the second year of Jordan Love, and the third year, right? First year, obviously, rough start, and then 3 and 6 make the playoffs, win a game as a 7 seed. Second year, they don't beat any good teams, and they fall the eventual champions. He's hurt up and down year, but still good. Third year, the most consistent year that he's had, yet they had injuries to Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, and they achieved what they were supposed to be able to do. So at this point, is it Jordan Love's fault that they're just achievers?
It doesn't feel like it's Jordan Love's fault. I feel like he is keeping them afloat. Without him, I feel like this team just reverts back to being average, something like that. But the fact that the Packers have been able to not go 1, not 2, but 3 straight, not Hall of Fame, but franchise quarterbacks. We'll see if Jordan Love ends up being that. But there's no doubt that he is the team's biggest resource. So when I agree with a lot of what Evan says about, the same conversation, the same results, not overachieving, not underachieving. They're good, but they're not great. That is what the Packers are right now, and they rely on that stability. But when it comes to Jordan Love, how can you be down on his development? He's like AI. He evolves over time with exactly how you want him to. Early on, the question was, can this dude even play quarterback? When he played against the Chiefs early on,
doing good.
And
Kovac Rodgers Chiefs game had a lot of people's sphincters tight.
Bad.
I was worried.
And you're just wondering, man, can this guy even play quarterback? But then you saw midway through his first year as a starter, this guy can play. And then the question was completion percentage. He went and fixed that. After that, the 2024 season was, can he just can he lower the bad decisions? Can he not turn the ball over?
Yeah.
He did that this last season. He's taken steps toward leadership. So he's not a complete quarterback yet. He's not perfect, but he is, in my opinion, top 10, top 8. And more importantly, he evolves. Whatever it is that's like, Jordan Love needs to do this. He conquers that. He does that, and he does that in pretty short order. So the rest of the criticism is fair. When are the Packers going to break through? When are they going to be true Super Bowl contenders? You had great quarterbacks with only a couple Super Bowls to show for it. But, Jordan Love, I don't have a whole lot of question left in it. Even with Matt LaFleur, said, who are they? I think I have a pretty good idea of who Matt LaFleur is. I think that's the frustration, though. You know who these guys are, and you just wonder, are they ever going to be truly great?
Yeah, what's confusing to me is this Packers team was doing very well. There was a point where they were 9-3-1 during the season, and Jordan Love was the reason why they were 9-3-1. Yes, there were games that they weren't playing well, but remember, we were the 27 boys. They kept scoring 27 points. That is a high level of consistency. And Jordan Love, again, he had good games all in between that. Nobody is perfect at quarterback, but Jordan Love is more towards the top end of the league of quarterback play than the middle or the bottom. And then when I look at the fact, dude, they lost 4 games in a row, and I feel like 5 games at the postseason. But I feel like because of that losing streak, it diminished everything that the Packers and everything that Jordan Love did up until that point. It diminishes the first half they had against the Denver Broncos, which there is no excuse for losing that game. But at the end of the day, you lost your right tackle. You lost Christian Watson. You also lost Micah Parsons, and that was just too much for the Packers to be able to overcome. I remember watching that game in the fourth quarter where that defense from the Denver Broncos just pinned their ears back, and Jordan Love could not do anything under that pressure. And then he got hurt early in the Chicago Bears game, and that was all she wrote for the rest of the regular season. And if Jordan Love had an opportunity to play against the Baltimore Ravens, and probably wouldn't have played against Minnesota unless it was meant to win the NFC North, which it could have been a game.
It would have if they would have beat the Ravens.
It could have. Yeah, that's very true. And Jordan Love probably would have played great in that game, too. And so I just feel like because the Packers lost 5 straight games to end the regular season plus the playoff game, and because of the fact that the Packers, who they lost to and how the offensive line fell apart, people are forgetting what he did early in the season. He got this team to 9-3 3-1 without Tucker Kraft and without Christian Watson really playing together at all during the season. We got to get him more credit. And Josh Jacobs was hurt the majority of the year. You did not have a run game. So for folks to question whether or not he's progressing is ridiculous. You can just look at the numbers and you can see the interceptions being down as a progression. You can look at the completion percentage going up to a career high of 66%. That is a progression. So I don't get where all this noise is coming from. We're not believing or trusting that Jordan Love is getting better. The kid is going to be in the MVP conversation next year if they get the offensive line right. You can mark that because with the weapons that they have, a Christian Watson coming back the second year off of ACL, a Tucker Kraft towards ACL early enough where he should be ready for close to the start of the season, a Jaden Reed being healthy again this season, a Matthew Golden
Bugatti
implemented in his office, they have an opportunity to do something special. So miss me with all this Jordan Love is progressing nonsense because that just is not true.
Jason in the 920, Micah Parsons is the number one resource. When did the season fall apart? When Parsons went down. Jordan Love could not pick up the rest of the team. It's Micah's team. I'm just telling you. I see a lot more, not at like picking on Jordan Love, but not putting him in the light that you thought he would be in because he would be put in such a different light if they won that game against the Bears. One game and the collapse of the 21-3 lead has changed the entire narrative of Jordan Love this offseason.
I would argue. Even if his stats were exactly the same, you'd say, well, he got the win. Maybe the Packers hold on, but 4 touchdowns, no interception. You'd say it's a marquee game.
It would have been the lead on Monday.
It would have, exactly. Like
everywhere.
Jordan Love played marvelous in that game. And I would say Micah Parsons obviously hurt. But losing Zach Tom for an offensive line that just did not have the depth necessary in order to move on. We talk about what happened with that defense when Micah went out. But remember, the defense, it played decent against the Chicago Bears. I don't know what happened against the Baltimore Ravens. It played fine against Minnesota, and it just absolutely collapsed against the Bears. But if you have an offensive line with Zach Tom, you're able to neutralize some of that pass rush. Maybe you're able to open up a couple more holes. So, yes, losing Micah Parsons was devastating for this team, but losing the best offensive lineman that you have down the stretch like that hurt your offense's ability to stay consistent. And Jordan Love, despite that, was still able to be really, really good in the playoff game against the Bears.
I mean, there's no doubt that Micah Parsons is a better D-end than Jordan Love is quarterback, right? Nobody doubts that.
That is true.
But this is still Jordan Love's team. Like the Green Bay Packers have always been quarterback-centric. They've been quarterback-dominant. And this team rides and falls to Jordan Love's and the offense is how they're playing. Now, there was a collapse of the defense in those Chicago Bears comes back and those Baltimore Ravens game that they lost. But it's always offensive heavy, and particularly how it's constructed now. Both would hurt if you lost them, and obviously it hurt a lot to lose Micah, but it's Jordan Love's team.
If Jordan Love wasn't progressing, there's no way with them being 30th ranked on NFL.com with resources heading into the offseason where they can restructure and cut guys and open up cap space. But like the talk of the offensive line, not having a first-round draft pick, the bad signings last year that they might have to restructure or move on from or figure out what to do. It's no coincidence that when I look at Potawatomi and around the betting world, that the Packers are 5th in odds to win the Super Bowl. It's because they have Micah Parsons and Jordan Love. And I don't know what more you need to see and why you'd be down on Jordan Love right now, because the Seahawks, Rams, Bills, Ravens, and Packers are the top 5 to win the Super Bowl right now. And there's still so much to be done. And that is with a lot of work to be done by Goody and this front office in the offseason.
I would bet that whenever the MVP odds come out, Jordan Love is top 5 in MVP odds.
He should be.
That's saying something. There's not many quarterbacks that obviously there's only 4 other ones that be able to say
well, maybe you should stick to not betting.
What is he? Is that already on there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Who's everybody? Yeah, come on now. It should be now.
I'll reveal that on the other side while I talk to you about Potawatomi Casino Hotel, because you can feel it in Potawatomi Sportsbook, and you could witness the walk-off grand slam, the game-winning touchdown of the buzzer-beating 3, and the swings of the cheers and the roars from who lost and who won. It's so fun to be there. You can experience that exhilaration at Potawatomi Sportsbook. They have great food, betting kiosks everywhere, drink specials, a monster video wall with all the action. I cannot wait for baseball season. You'll have NBA playoffs, NBA playoffs. I mean, you'll have everything. The buzzer beaters of March. I mean, it's going to be awesome at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Must be 21 years or enter. And I reveal, wow, I didn't see this. And I'm mad at Brad. You're my go-to-Pato guy recently.
It's not easy money?
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Maybe you think it is at these odds. I'll tell you where Jordan Love is and who's ahead of him. He's 10th in MVP odds, but who's ahead of him? I'll tell you next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
What do you have on her?
What do you mean?
No one can willingly love you like she does.
You know...
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we've got actually a little bit of a backup on southbound 43, starting around North Avenue down through the Marquette. Earlier disabled vehicle at 6th Street on the northbound side has been finally cleared out of the way. We do have a crash on 894 southbound just south of Beloit Road, so heads up with that, although I'm not seeing any delays with it, so at least we got that going for us. Westbound 94, a little heavy west of 35th Street all the way over to Mitchell Boulevard. And speaking of 35th Street, we are seeing some heavier traffic coming up from Highway 59 or National Avenue up towards the freeway, so just something to keep in mind. That's actually the southbound side is where I'm seeing most of those delays. So just be extra careful with that. That's being your main alternate around 27th Street. Traffic is brought to you by Geist Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geist Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit GeistDoors.com. And don't think twice, call Geist. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, showers likely, maybe thunder, a low of 44. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny, windy and warm, a high of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. February is all about love, and while you're out here showing love to your partner, don't forget about a place that shows up for you every single day, your home. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. That's a real deal, and there's no limit. You'll also get 0% interest for 36 months, $500 off your next home improvement project. Call 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Brad said if he was a betting man, he thought Jordan Love would be top 5 in the MVP odds. Well, what do you know? At Potawatomi Casino Sportsbook, if you like this, you can jump in on it. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Chris Larson's running the show. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. And see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Number 1, Josh Allen, plus 550. Number 2,
Mahomes?
No,
Lamar Jackson, plus 700.
Hey, what is this? Just history?
Well,
right?
they're great players, so.
I mean, great players, but Lamar was bad last year.
He was hurt.
Well, yeah, he was hurt.
He was hurt.
He was hurt all year.
Move. Drake May.
That makes sense.
Plus 1,000.
I wouldn't bet on him because that schedule gets tough.
Joe Burrow. Plus 1,000.
Can't trust Joe because Joe's always hurt. Love him. Can't trust
Justin Herbert.
Oh, come on, man.
Plus 1,100.
Disrespect. I guess Mike McDaniels, they think that he can maybe get something out of it.
That's a good point.
The disrespect, though, for Herbert over Love is a common theme that has got to get corrected.
Patrick Mahomes.
That's fair.
Pat won't be back day one, will he? He got
Plus
hurt.
1,100.
But he's Pat Mahomes.
He is Superman.
Okay, so let's
Dakota.
Yo, Dak Prescott
Dakota
ain't
Prescott.
He ain't never.
He's
plus 1,300. Now, again, the odds are getting closer to Jordan. Matthew Stafford. Plus 1,400. He ain't winning back-to-back.
He's too old at that point. He had his moment.
Tied at 10th.
Don't say. It better just be Jordan Love. It better not be nobody else in this division.
Jared Goff? Not Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams and Jordan Love. Both plus 1,500 to win the MVP.
That's crazy.
Show me the screen. Did I lie about anything?
Wow.
Who knew being Houdini can get you so much love? It's crazy.
Caleb Williams and Jordan Love, the same odds to win the MVP, tied at 10th. That is crazy.
He has to have the lowest ever completion percentage to end the season to be ranked in the top 10.
It's all about a narrative.
I guess.
Those Heisman moments, those MVP moments.
He can't complete passes in the pocket.
No.
Like he can't. We saw balls sail over guys' heads.
Since we're on the Potawatomi Sportsbook, what about the NFC North?
Well, obviously it's tied for. Oh, you mean to win the NFC North? Oh, it's gonna be Detroit then Green Bay.
Detroit plus 165, Packers plus 175. So you get plus money on the Packers to win the division.
And the Vikings
for the first time in 4 years.
I can't trust
5 years.
I can't trust them to win the division.
Right? Rodgers last year and the 3 Love years.
Yeah.
This would be the 5th year.
Yeah. Where's Detroit? I mean, not Detroit. Minnesota with that.
Well, let me just go through the Bears plus 325 and the Vikings plus 750.
750 for a team that won 9 games.
They
don't have a quarterback.
Dude, but their schedule, they're going to have the third worst.
They don't have a quarterback.
Oh, Sam Darnold. Seattle didn't have a quarterback, and look what happened to them.
I think that they're going to be able to attract a pretty good free agent quarterback.
Their team is so good.
I still can't believe Caleb Williams and Jordan Love have the same odds to win MVP.
Why are you so shocked by that?
Because Caleb Williams isn't close to the quarterback Jordan Love is. But he has magical moments.
I don't disagree, but think about what you're saying. What do people eat up?
Magical moments, but these are sports writers. These are
magical moments.
Voters. I just
remember, like Fernando Mendoza, Heisman moment. Like there's the throw and the catch.
Yeah, that does matter.
Toe tapped at the back of the end zone.
His team went undefeated, and he put up major stats.
That's why when bringing up Jordan Love and Caleb Williams being next to each other in MVP odds, I was like, all right, well, where do they project them in the North? Because typically, you're not going to get where did Drake May and Matthew Stafford end up this year?
Well, Rams were obviously the wild card, but they ended up in the championship round.
Yes, they were consistently a great team throughout the year.
It's usually
and obviously the Patriots played for the second seed as well, but were right there for the Broncos in the number 1 seed.
Usually a top 4 team in the NFL with a quarterback that's balling out.
So if you think that
Jaden Daniels wasn't on the list.
Well, yeah, I mean the Commanders are pretty bad though.
The Commanders
he was
were
the
in
darling.
NFC Championship last year. He was there.
They
when did you say last year
they're
versus 2
overall
years
the
ago?
roster. Yeah, I just think that Jordan Love and Caleb Williams. That's just crazy to me. It just is. I can't really argue with some of the the top end quarterbacks on the list, but Stafford and
There's too many olds.
There's a lot of olds.
I wouldn't bet on the olds.
No.
I'd bet on the youth movement.
I mean, well, you're going to have Josh Allen with a new a new head coach. Brady's probably will still be his offensive coordinator. You're going to have Joe Burrow just hopefully being healthy. You're going to have Matthew Stafford looking to defend his title of an MVP last year. It was crazy. Sam Darnold just won the Super Bowl, had a great playoffs, didn't turn the ball over.
User YG5KN3TB4P chimes in on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Caleb has 47 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in his first 2 seasons. His team won 11 games in the Pac-9. I think Jordan's better too, but the gap is not as big as you think. I think the biggest thing that Kyle brought up is what does he do with that first place schedule?
Yeah, and that's going to be very difficult for them next year. They're not a bad team, clearly.
Yeah.
But everything changes for every team in the NFL. And I think when I look at the NFC North, I think it is the Green Bay Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings that have a level of consistency.
The Vikings?
Bro, the Vikings went 9-8 with J.J. McCarthy. Do you see the weapons that they have?
I know.
The weapons they won.
They
9
made a huge
games.
investment into their entire team, but they had one
The
deficiency.
Packers only won a half a game more than them. And it feels like the Vikings were horrible.
Yeah, so that's my whole point.
That's crazy.
You've had a lot of that's crazy moments, but that rings true when you say it out loud. A half game more wins than the Vikings.
That's it. Great. The Packers were literally a loss to the Detroit Lions.
Again, Week 18 doesn't count.
That's true.
I guess.
But
so.
I mean, it counts in the schedule. It counts for drafting. The Lions had the worst record in the NFC North last year.
They're going to eat up
They're
the fourth place schedule.
To eat up the fourth place schedule.
They love beating bad teams.
Yeah.
They love
big
pounding
bad
bad teams.
Big margin of
style
victory.
points. If the BCS still existed in
Style
like the
points.
NFL for and not the NCAA, they're going to be beating teams 50-10.
Well, we have to give away some Thanalysis live tickets on the other side, so don't go anywhere. But first, I'm going to tell you about Palermo's, because if you're craving that big flavor without the big price, well, you know what's here. Screamin' Sicilian Tavern-style pizza, $5.99. Tavern-style Screamin' Sicilian pizzas for $5.99 at Metcalf's through the 18th. Thin, crispy crust, bold, toppings piled high. An unbeatable flavor in every bite. Like I've mentioned, the tavern-style pepperoni is a go-to in the Brust household on Frozen Pizza Friday, next to the Boss Hog. But if you're looking for the tavern-style, $5.99 at Metcalf's through the 18th. Premium pizza without the premium price. So grab one or grab a few or a ton before the delicious deal ends on the 18th. Palermo's, find that screaming pleasure in your local grocer's freezer. Stay tuned. Thanalysis Live with Ric Flair. Woo! Woo! 2 tickets to Thanalysis Live. Coming up next, get those dial-in fingers ready.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
If I was as tall and as talented as you, if I could shoot as well as you could, both them teams would have won. Because you know what? You did a fake punch, you said, in the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
And I would have did fake point. I would have took it to the house. I would have scored a dang touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Yeah, coaching matters a lot, and we've fallen short. Those are the facts. Matt LaFleur's on the clock, man. And I know he got an extension, but I'll say this. If they revert and don't get better, you're evaluated on your results.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Everybody knows, it's championship or bust. That is what Green Bay is. And unfortunately, we've had 15 years of bust.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well,
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Imagine working with a contractor that quits halfway through a project or never calls you back when you have questions. Or worse, takes your money and you never see them again. Unfortunately, we hear about them all the time. Hi, this is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and Siding Unlimited is absolutely not that company. Siding Unlimited has been doing business for 32 years, proving to be an honest, ethical, and forthright company. If you're looking for the honest guys for your next siding, windows, roofing, and doors project, stop by sidingunlimited.com today.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. I mean, there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold a lie with sportswear, too. You pay a fortune for big-name gear, a fancy logo, a slogan, and it still stinks. Iron Jock doesn't play that game. Silver ion technology is woven into every thread, killing 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. And now, through February 22nd, our listeners can get 35% off all Iron Jock orders over $50 with the code ESPN35. Shop now at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
All right, here's your chance. Just announce via Thanalysis on Instagram, Twitter. Thanalysis Live is back, starring Thanasis Antetokounmpo and Ric Flair. Woo! And if you want to enjoy that show, tickets aren't out yet to purchase. But you can win some right now on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman at the Riverside Theater on the 27th at 7 p.m. of March. Let's go with caller number 15, 800-990-3776. 2 tickets to Thanalysis Live starring Ric Flair, March 27th at 7 p.m. Riverside. 800-990-3776. What did I say, 15?
15.
800-990-ESPN. Caller 15. You're going to have a time of your life. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Bradley Nortman, Chris Larson's running the show, taking your calls, giving away those tickets. Now, on Twitter, at KBN ESPN, we put up this poll, and it stemmed originally from the fact that Jordan Love was being disrespected by NFL.com. And when it came to where he was ranked, I was like, well, I don't think he's as bad as they're saying. I don't think he's bad. I think he elevates their team. Of this trio, who is the best at their job? Matt LaFleur, 13% of the vote.
Wow.
Brian Gutekunst, 19% of the vote.
Okay.
Jordan Love, 68% of the vote.
Runaway.
I would call that a runaway.
It is a runaway.
I mean, it's a.
He has 68%.
68%, but I mean, Goody,
the next closest contender is 50 percentage points away.
Goody is way, way, way too undervalued in this poll. Way too undervalued. I mean, do Packer fans not realize that he is the architect of this team? He's the one that took the career risk of going ahead and drafting Jordan Love when you already had a franchise quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback at that, all the main guys. Because even driving in, right, we talk about all the time how Super Bowl teams on average have 4 all-pro players, sometimes as many as 6, and we can identify the all-pro players who this team might be. Jordan Love, Micah Parsons, Tucker Kraft, Xavier McKinney, Zach Tom. Those are 5 right there that are like knocking on the door or already solidified all-pro guys. Not many other teams can say that you have that. Now, you could maybe say, well, they're too top-heavy. They don't have enough depth. But Brian Gutekunst has put this team in a position to where they're contending for titles for the division, and they're underperforming. They haven't got it yet, but they're contending. And they're underperforming mainly because of Matt LaFleur.
Oh, they're underperforming because when you look at this draft class of 2022, you don't have a lot of guys from that you drafted that you're going to want to keep. We're talking about, is Quay going to be back? Christian Watson's
before you go, we're all going with what Old T said, our original thoughts, other than Brad, that Jordan Love is the runaway for a reason.
Jordan Love is the runaway. Dude is so good. And if his GM drafted better and gave him better pieces offensively and defensively, we would probably be talking about how they won the NFC North, how this team was in the NFC Championship game. I give him credit for what he did for taking the swing to get Micah Parsons, but to win championships, you need to be consistent in the draft. He's had too many drafts where he has missed, which has led to this team not having the depth they need to compete for championships yet, and that is what he said. He said it's about time we compete for championships. Where Goody, you need to make sure you're putting the pieces together for them to compete for championships.
Well, that's the bigger question is, Goody, you need to do this, but he can only work with what he's got, and he's created a situation where he is strapped in cap right now. Doesn't have a first-round pick, which I think, as Tausch said, we'd all agree that Micah Parsons is worth that first-round pick because you have a proven player, and off of injury, Jeff Hathley, who's now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Micah Parsons breaks the sack record next year.
Without me here.
Well, again, that's his belief in how impactful Micah Parsons can be to the game. So when you talk about where the team is and it being up to Goody to construct this team, it's not that I don't think Goody's good. I just don't think he's great, right? I think he has a system, but now you have to really work free agency when you have to work a lot of your own guys in free agency and free up cap space. And traditionally they aren't going to spend big. And Tausch is saying, there's a great center. I'd love him. And then fill the rest.
Got to get a
filling isn't going to get you better than where you were unless everyone that you already have that he's drafted elevates their game to a new level. And that's everything that Packer fans have to bank on right now, because I caution we're going to make big splashes every year in free agency. It's usually 2 guys max. There are outliers for sure, but the way it's set up this year is not you might see 4 big names come through. It's just going to be very hard for them to pull it off even though the cap went up, they're still low in resources.
Yeah, they still have a long way to go. I can't remember a year where it feels like this team has so many things to address with so many few avenues to go and address it. I mean, I know that his first-round draft picks have not been great, but it is a huge resource. Now, again, I'd rather take Micah Parsons and say goodbye to those first-round draft picks, but just when it comes to specifically crafting this team this season, there's a lot of holes, and honestly, just starting roles, right? We're not even getting to depth or anything like that with the inevitable injuries that are going to occur and just the rotation-like mentality of the NFL. So, Goody, I still remain, he is the one that does it best because he took a franchise that had Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame quarterback, competing for a Super Bowl, remade it completely to be another competitive team that's knocking on the door. That's not easy to do. Now, he has to push himself outside his comfort zone to get over that next step, but very few GMs can pull that off.
Well, in Madison, you'll have Jim, Matt, and Molly next, the Damn Sports Show in Beaver Dam. But I got to tell you where we're going to be if you're leaving us in Madison and Milwaukee. Of course, you can get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and the ESPN Wisconsin app anytime, anywhere. We're going to be in Monticello tomorrow, and I'm very excited for a sponsorship that Bank CMG has with that local high school. And they have local branches throughout the Madison, Milwaukee area, and it's finally great that I have a home base for personal banking. But not only personal banking, it's already been amazing to have like that personal, professional relationship experience with the bank, but then to learn about new products, this all-in-one loan that I'm in the underwriting process for is amazing. You know why? Because I'm not just going to be paying a mortgage payment that's going to interest for like ever until the back end of a 30-year mortgage. I get to pay the principal and the interest down with their unique all-in-one loan. So if you're interested in learning more, visit bankcmg.com or stop by a local branch. Look, Coach Guard, you hear him talking about them. He partners with them too. He wouldn't do it unless he believed in it, and I ain't doing it unless I believe in it, and I'm seeing it firsthand. So bankcmg.com or stop by a local branch. That all will know, and I cannot wait to tell you even more about. Jim, Matt, and Molly in Madison, Dam Sports Show in Beaver Dam, Kyle, Brust, Nortman in 2 minutes on 94.5 ESPN, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
KBN's the show that never ends.
Southbound 43 from just before North Avenue, backing up all the way down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94 backed up 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Another little pocket of heavy traffic right past Elm Grove Road. Eastbound 94 is slowing down from 84th Street to Hawley. And then on southbound 894, we got delays from Beloit Road into the Hale. And then eastbound out of the Hale to about Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Showers likely, maybe thunder. A low of 44. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny, windy and warm, a high of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Join Cousins Club Rewards today. Grab your first sub and your next one could be free. After your first qualifying purchase, you'll earn a free sub and start collecting points for free food, exclusive deals, and even Cousins gear. Sign up today. It's fast and easier than ever on the Cousins Subs app. Earn points online, on the app, or in store. However you enjoy Cousins Subs, your rewards are right at your fingertips. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into The Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN.
Oh, this is getting more interesting for me by the second. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across 94.5 ESPN, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. He's Kyle Wallace. Excuse me. I'm Ben Brust. Alongside Bradley Nortman, Alex Strofe, recently engaged, is out for the week, so Chris Larson is running the show. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line, and as I mentioned, YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Now, this is from Shaq on Unsportsmanlike talking about Giannis, and I'm so excited to play this because I did some research. This isn't a half bad idea.
Shaq, what would you do if you were Giannis right now?
Tell Milwaukee to pay me Supermax and give me 10% of the team so I can stay. If not, I'm out.
That is currently not legal within the NBA. Do you think it should be in terms of players should get percentages of teams as active players?
Not legal, but, there's loopholes.
Yep. Side deals?
Yeah, ways to make it happen, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think the NBA is looking into that one, that's for sure.
Loophole.com.
With Shaq. The big loophole. We haven't heard you use that nickname.
There you go.
Maybe Kawhi's new nickname could be the big loophole, potentially.
That's where my head went, is the recent things we've seen with Kawhi Leonard and whatnot. But if legal, right, what do you think the valuation was in 2015, around the time Giannis arrived to the Milwaukee Bucks?
Ooh. The Bucks got sold because Giannis came in 2013. I feel like the Bucks got sold in 2015, so the valuation for the Bucks was probably At the time, $350 million, $375 million.
$500 million.
That's almost say sold.
$600 million was the estimated valuation according to Forbes in 2015.
When they
the sale in 2014 was $550 million.
Got it. So before that,
I'm looking at their value now.
$4 billion
with a B.
With a B.
That almost at 10x in 10 years.
Man, I wish I
What's
had.
the common denominator here? I mean, obviously the NBA growing globally, TV rights, all the stuff, but without Giannis in a championship, would they be $3 billion versus $4 billion in valuation?
I don't know.
That'd be 25%.
I'm sorry. I just gotta say something to Brad. Brad was a millionaire at that time. I'm assuming your contract was nice. Brad, if you just would have contacted somebody for the Bucks and said, "Hey, let me find a way to invest $1 million or $2 million in the Bucks to get a very small percentage at that time," boy, you wouldn't be sitting there with us.
No, I would be courtside with Thanasis. Honestly, that's what I'd be doing. That, but they don't just take the chump change of any guy like
just
me.
anybody.
They only reserve it for Jimmy and D Haslam. For the big.
I guess Rodgers is a minority owner of the Bucks.
Is he? Well, he got more money than
But
Brad.
it probably takes. Isn't Giannis also part owner of the Milwaukee Brewers?
He is a minority.
But it probably takes a good 10 to 20 mil to get you in the door. I would think.
But if it's $550 million, you probably don't need 20 mil.
That's
you probably
probably
need
true.
5 mil back in that because the majority of investors are going to
5 million, 10x is what, Kyle?
That was at 5. That's $50 million.
50 million.
We ain't talking about
missed out.
50,000. We ain't talking about 500,000. We ain't talking about $50 million.
$50 million.
Oh my gosh! So Jimmy and D too.
So, can they figure it out? Because it's a great idea. Jimmy and D Haslam have plenty of money.
They do,
but he says we're going to do right by the Bucks and we're going to do right by Giannis,
which
would be giving him a percentage of the Bucks if legal.
That is very true.
That'd be doing right by everybody.
It would create a really weird precedent, right? Because what would LeBron get in his prime? What would Jordan get? You take over 50% of the franchise when you have
can't get that much.
I'm just saying though, but what LeBron did for the Heat in Cleveland, especially, and what Jordan did for the Bulls. I mean, you're going to be having superstar players gobble up a quarter of the franchise, which I mean, you could argue is maybe warranted because, as we saw with the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis changed the entire trajectory of the organization.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of giving these players in the NBA a little bit of ownership because then it gets weird. Because at the end of the day, they get too much when it comes to decisions, for front office and decisions being made. And then in addition to that, what happens when they leave? They're going to have to sell their portion. Like, you can't leave and play for another team and own a portion of the team. And what happens, the Bucks don't want to be – I mean, maybe they do want to be stuck with Giannis forever, which would be great, but, there is some type of conflict of interest that would sneak up with this scenario. So maybe a guarantee of when you retire, you will have X amount ownership of the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe that's something that you can do.
It still says, and it's not very clear, but again, 1% ownership of the Bucks in 2018 for Aaron Rodgers is when he purchased.
1% in 2018.
What's 1% of a billion?
It was probably $1 billion at that point, and that's $100 million. No,
it's
$10
million.
$10 million.
So it was less than $10 million.
So about $40 million-ish?
Yeah.
I ain't
pretty
got
good.
I ain't got $40
That's pretty
million.
good. That's pretty good.
Ryan McGuanago says, give him Packer stock.
There you go. I can get more of the Packer stock. He won't. He can have mine. If that will keep him, make him stay, I'm willing to sacrifice.
I'm not sure.
I'd like to think Giannis is an investor of things that grow in value.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think Giannis would look at that. The Antetokounmpo is a very savvy businessman. I don't think he'd look at this and say, this is a franchise I want to own, especially after I leave, because I see where this is going, and they're not going to necessarily continue to have this. They will rise.
What are you talking
with the
about? You
ships
buy
of the
stock
NBA.
and it doesn't pay you anything. I was talking about the Packers.
He's talking about the Bucks. He skipped over the Bucks.
I'll say the Bucks. Does he want to own a Bucks team that's going to not be a...
Yes, the valuation only goes up,
So
Brad.
what
You know
happens?
this.
So these owners are still making money every year because everybody claim broke. I ain't making no money.
They don't have liquid from their investment, but they have, obviously, if you have the money to invest in a sports team, you have other businesses that you're able to cash flow
For
from.
Giannis' contract, will they come knocking on my door saying, "Hey, we we're going to need your portion of this year. You're going to have to pay your maintenance fee or whatever it is per year.
So businesses or sports franchises are strange. Usually it's like cash flow is not the thing to give it, but the valuation because of demand, because there's only so many sports franchises you can do, they inevitably go up in value. Even like affiliates, like the Milwaukee Admirals or something like that, they're not really cash flowing, but they're going up in value because there's only so many of them, and there's a desire for live
You trying to
sports.
invest in the Admirals?
No, I'm good. No, Admirals are great.
Admirals.
I don't know if my money's going to go up 10x unless they go into the NHL, which ain't
probably
happening.
true.
Ain't happening. We wouldn't. Milwaukee couldn't support an NHL team.
Would the Deer District be built without Giannis?
No.
I don't think the Bucks are in Milwaukee without Giannis. I think they might leave.
Well,
Herb Cole sort of put that in there as a qualifier.
Yes,
but
it wouldn't be. It wouldn't have been imaginative and would have came to life as much without having Giannis, because Giannis guaranteed that you were going to be competitive and win some games, and that's what it takes to get people to get behind not only building it, but also keep people get behind to actually use the facilities that we have. It will always be sketched in our memory of the fact that when we had a Game 6 right here in Milwaukee, there were 100,000 people in downtown Milwaukee looking to celebrate, and that will always be a memory that we have of what this place can be.
I would also say this: like, would you want Giannis as an owner of the Bucks? Because even like Jordan, as an owner of the Hornets, that did not go well.
Jordan was the majority owner.
Yeah, but
making decisions, and
probably
he's gone and they're
Giannis
winning
to the
now.
table on making some decisions, right? If you give him 10%, and he's sort of the face of your ownership group.
No, you just make him the face.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's possible, but
I mean,
I don't know who with 10% of ownership is making the decisions of any sports team.
Nobody with 10%.
Kyle, they already came knocking for the Fiserv about your hitting up the taxpayers.
Oh, yeah. It was statewide though. They shared that with the whole state.
All right, so you're good with that?
Oh, hell yeah, it ain't on my back. It's AmFam. Don't let me get AmFam Field. Them folks is mad about that 7 county tax. But I love AmFam Field. I ain't mind paying it. It's sunsetted. And they about to develop more over there. I'm so excited. That's me.
That's me. Oh man, you're something, Kyle. Mark Chmura of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning had something interesting to say as we take a look at, and we'll hit this on the other side, Chris, as we take a look at the free agent market, right, with the limited cap space right now for the Green Bay Packers. That can absolutely change, right? That can change in a split second. But when it comes to getting veterans, it's not something that really has happened of late, but why it may make sense. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Chewy said something very smart on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning on 94.5 ESPN. Yes,
Wow.
really.
I'll be the one to judge that.
We'll judge it together next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You throw hands?
Do I throw hands?
With T.O.
Will I? I throw hands with Andre the Giant, man.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound 43 from just before North Avenue, backing up all the way down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94 backed up 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Another little pocket of heavy traffic right past Elm Grove Road. Eastbound 94 is slowing down from 84th Street to Hawley. And then on southbound 894, we got delays from Beloit Road into the Hale. And then eastbound out of the Hale to about Forest Home. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Showers likely, maybe thunder. A low of 44. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny, windy and warm, a high of 63. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home, Blow, and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
Many wins,
Many, 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 many wins waiting at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This February, you could break the bank and get down with a share of $300,000 in prizes. Bust out your rewards card and play to earn entries. It all goes down with Thursday drawings. Break the bank, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
2026 Brewers tickets are on sale now. This year, it all kicks off at our house with opening day at home, followed up with a schedule that's absolutely loaded. Throw in the same flair for the dramatic thrills on any given night. Plus Brewers giveaways you won't forget. And you've got a season you're going to have to see to believe. Don't miss a second of Brewers action this year. The crew is back for more. All Brewers tickets for the 2026 season are on sale now at Brewers.com.
Big news from Carbless, a fan favorite and one of my favorites. Blood Orange flavor is now its own dedicated 4-pack, crafted with real spirits for a true cocktail taste. Blood Orange brings bold, citrus-forward flavor with a smooth, premium finish. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. Now it's even easier to stock up on the flavor everyone keeps asking for. Look for Carbless Blood Orange 4-pack at your local retailer now. Once you try it, you'll understand why Blood Orange has earned its own pack. Carbless, bold flavor in every sip. Find it near you at drinkcarbless.com.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves. Are you talking about the One collection? Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart. The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment. The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's. To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Living life with pain in your joints is no way to live, whether it's your knees, your hips, your shoulders, or your back, or in whatever it's from. Former injury, arthritis, QC Kinetics is here right around the corner to give you your life back and take away that pain for the long term. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, is right here in the Milwaukee area. One in Mequon, one in Greenfield. Every time I visit, I'm amazed at the tools in their toolkit that can give you healing on a cellular level. Non-surgical, no drugs, no downtime. You're going to be able to start moving and living that life that you've always wanted to, because spring and summer are right around the corner, so it's even more time to be active. 40,000 people have already been happy treatment customers of QC Kinetics, and they're living their best life. 40,000 people. You could be 40,001. All you got to do is give them a call, get your free consultation, no obligation. Give them a call today at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
You said happy treatment customers?
Happy treatment customers.
You want to try that again?
Customers that have been happily treated by QC Kinetics.
There we go.
There we go.
That's Brad. I'm Ben Brust. I was like, he is, this dude just did this.
Yeah, those are words.
Happy treatment customer.
Those are words that can be put together.
Brad Nortman, Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust.
Treatment.
Chris Larson's running the show. Alex Strofe is engaged and in Florida, and he will be his giddy self back on the airwaves come Monday. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. And as I mentioned, Chewy may I shouldn't have jumped the gun there. Chewy may have said something intelligent on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, 7 and 9 on 94.5 ESPN. As we talk about how the Packers become successful with their situation in the offseason, the cap space, no first-round pick, etc. This is an interesting thought.
Young guys don't really want to go to Green Bay because they want to get their rage on early in their career. You know who wants to go to Green Bay? Guys who are at the back end. Like, hey, you know what? I had my rave. Let's just go to this nice community, great football. They love it. Look at the players we got. Reggie, Sean Jones, Eugene Robinson.
Speaking of
Mike
paying.
Prior commitments. It's really... No, I'm serious. When you're young...
Oh, yeah.
Players don't want to go to Green Bay. They want to go to, glitz and glitter and all that stuff. So you kind of have your picking of veterans if you wanted them. Milwaukee's probably the same way.
I find that interesting with the way that when you look for veteran leadership and you look to build a team and you're not going to be able to be probably as aggressive as you want in free agency, the problem that we have here is Goody doesn't care. Goody doesn't like older people. Goody doesn't like anybody above 30 in the NFL, but it makes sense. I mean, Brett, I guess you could speak to this more than anything. I mean, at the end of your career, you're ring hunting. And if Green Bay is a solid organization, they're gonna win football games, and if you could be a piece to help them get a ring, like, wouldn't you think that makes a lot of sense?
Yeah,
Did you experience anything like at the, in, like, I guess Panthers, you guys were on the come up. So, like, before the year that you went to the Super Bowl, did you have anyone interested because of what you potentially could do?
Yeah, two guys that we signed in free agency that were veterans that were looking for success was Peanut Tillman and Roman Harper. Two guys that were tone setters in the back end of our defense that were, their best days were behind them, but they were still really quality players. But they took a pay cut of sorts because we had won the division 2 years in a row, and they joined the team for that Super Bowl push. And those guys are the kind of guys that Chewy's talking about, where they have already experienced, and those guys are really mature family men, so it's not like they're like getting their rage on. But it's
getting their rage on.
Getting their rage on.
Kyle would have been getting his rage on in his first 4 or 5 years in the league.
Hell yeah.
And like you hear the conversations of people that are rookies to probably year 3. I mean, dude, like Memorial Day weekend, like we're going to Vegas, and just like the priorities are so different. And then right across the hall, you got a veteran that's 32, and he's got 3 kids, and he's looking for stability, and he just wants to squeeze out as much more of the career as he can. So,
with a winning organization or a winning opportunity.
So that's the thing. Like, dare I say, Chewy is spot on. I mean, 90% brilliance out of Chewy. 90% of the time, money comes first, right? Which is actually a problem for Green Bay, because if you're a free agent and you get the same exact money from Miami or Green Bay, not only is taxes a thing, but a lot of people want to live like a Miami lifestyle. So a lot of times Green Bay is at a disadvantage. However, these type of players that are kind of 29 to 35, I would say, that still has some really good football in them. Maybe they're signing their 3rd contract. They've already made their 2nd. But guys that don't want drama, they want a family environment. And that's Green Bay, Wisconsin. You're talking about championship caliber and stability. Those are the guys that would be really valuable, that you can actually get a little bit of a discount. If you're looking for areas where do we have the edge, Green Bay is tailor-made for that. But you're exactly right, Ben. I mean, I've been praising Goody all day, but the one area that he needs to grow in is being able to say, you know what? I'll take an older guy for 1, the leadership, for 2, the environment that he can help create, but because the guys still have something left in the tank. And
per Jason Wilde, Evan Williams was somebody who talked about the maturity of the team and who's a pretty mature guy for a young guy for the Green Bay Packers. But where do you get maturity? Veteran leadership.
I even said that when talking about the the postseason to Jason. I said we benefited from a bye from the teams I was on if there was experience and maturity. And Jason said this team has experience, but I don't think they got maturity. And maturity is something that usually comes from within the players and within the locker room. And Matt LaFleur can do all he wants to help with that, but it helps to see a true leader in that with a veteran.
And now I agree with what you're saying, but I do believe that the Packers can get young guys. You say that is money, yes. And I look at what we've been able to do these last couple off seasons. I mean, Aaron Banks was in his mid-20s. Nate Hobbs, mid-20s. When you look at the safety that we ended up getting named for some reason, Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs were guys who were in their mid-20s that they were able to attract and get here. Those are guys still in their prime. Now, do I wish the Packers...
We paid top dollar for him.
You did pay top dollar.
And whiffed last year.
But how many of these guys, Brad, you were a free agent, and you literally went where the bag was. You didn't go where your heart was. You didn't stay where you were comfortable. You followed the bag, and that's what most of these guys are going to do anyways. They're going to follow the bag. Now, where Chewy, I believe, is right is the fact that maybe the Packers need to go find some older guys who are going to be ring chasing, right? The guys who are solidified, who said, okay, I've been in the league 10 years now. I'm 29, I'm 30, I'm 31. I really just want to compete for a championship. That is what we have been missing out on. We got, as Jason joined us yesterday, talked about Julius Peppers coming to Green Bay to try to win a ring. That's what we need to be looking for, some of those veterans who understand that this team could get them to a place that they have not been yet. And so that is the biggest issue that I think the Packers have. But other than that, listen, the Packers, I think if it comes down to a couple $1 million somewhere else or playing for a championship and you're 26 years old, I think the Packers have a really good shot for how established they are as an organization.
Let's test this theory.
All right, let's test
Shall
it.
we?
Yes.
How many years did you play in the NFL?
6.
Let's say that Brad Nortman was a free agent and you were a hot commodity.
Ooh.
But, there's 2 teams that are interested right now. One, let's just use teams from last year.
Okay.
One is the Green Bay Packers, who are offering you $2 million. One is the, let's say,
Cleveland Browns.
Arizona Cardinals.
Living in Arizona is kind of nice, though. That's a dome. Anyway, continue. I'm telling you what I'm thinking.
$3 million.
I'm going to Arizona.
So you proved the theory wrong.
I'm not at that level yet, though. If I was year 12, if I was year 10, and I was like, I could, I've made all the money I could ever imagine. All that's left is a ring on my, on my hand.
I don't know. You're still kind of putting. You'd rather go to Arizona than punt for the Green Bay Packers for $1 million less to have a chance to be on a winning culture versus just collecting a check and punting for a bad team that's rebuilding. I guess you're with the LaFleur either way.
I am with the LaFleur either way. I think.
I'm glad YouTube is bringing this up because they're saying players want to go where they get paid. Well, and you are speaking player language right now with your body language.
I'd probably go to Arizona. If it was later in my career, and I mean way later.
But way later, you're worthless to me.
But that's
I can go get a spring chicken.
You have to find that guy that's like,
You're supposed to be that guy. You're the family guy. You're not looking at parties. You want to win a championship.
I can live a family life in Arizona.
That weather is nice. Exactly.
All right. Cleveland. $3 million versus $2 million.
I'll go to Green Bay. Well,
money's talking. Money's talking, Tom. Talk is cheap from this Brad Nortman.
I would probably chase the money. I probably would.
In year 7. If it was year 7.
That's what if I played 6 years.
Career is almost over at year 7.
But if I'm year 10 and I've already played 10 years.
Okay, maybe we have to take out the fact that you didn't play in a Super Bowl. Does that change anything? It's hard to erase from your memory.
Yeah, Brad chased the money. He went to the Jacksonville Jaguars who weren't good.
I did chase the money.
Yeah, what you mean?
I don't regret it.
Yeah, as you shouldn't. Without having them state income taxes at that clip, how much you was getting in? That's nice. You had 8 games there, or I guess you had to play in Europe too.
Yeah, and the London game wasn't fun for that. But I do think there's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot for like getting an older veteran, and you're not talking. Okay, if a 10-year veteran, if a 12-year veteran, if he's getting offered, $5 million from Green Bay, or 8.5 from Arizona. He's going to go to 8.5.
No,
you're talking about a marginal difference here. You're talking about maybe if it's $1 million here or there.
I hear you, but
no, you got to take that money. But Josh Jacobs did, according to reports and according to Josh Jacobs himself, he didn't want to go to the Chiefs because the Chiefs played in this division. He hated the Chiefs, and then he also did not want to go to New York.
I don't buy that.
He said New York's the taxes, the lifestyle, everything. That's what he claimed. He's a man with conviction. He can stand on something.
Unlike Brad.
It was $12 million a year for Josh Jacobs.
It was, and according to the report, the Giants came up with an offer between $3 million or $4 million more that he eventually did not accept.
That's pretty crazy to me. I know he's a first-round draft pick and stuff, but that's pretty wild. I don't believe most players in your prime like Josh Jacobs would do it. I think there are retreads that you can get at a value and that you can convince them to come. You're never going to be able to get them for a whole lot less than someone else can get them for, but all things equal, you might be able to get a guy for less money when you don't have that luxury when they're in their prime free agency.
Bro, I don't understand. Like, it's easy. The NFL stands for not for long, Brad, doesn't it?
Don't I know that?
You're supposed to chase the bag and build generational wealth, and that's what these guys are looking for. These dudes is looking for that. Now, obviously, with older age, everybody ring chases. It doesn't matter what the sport is, but I don't think Green Bay is a deterrent for guys that want to go there who are in their 20s. No, Xavier McKinney came here because they offered him the bag.
They got me too on YouTube, Brad.
A great example is Devontae Adams this last year. Like, he would have been a benefit to this team. And what his contract was, $22 million for 2 years, or so $44 million in total. Like, he would have probably accepted that in Green Bay because of all the things, right? But
he did find the next best thing for him in terms of a culture and situation.
Yes, so that's the thing. Goody needs to actually pick up the phone and pursue some of these veterans, that guys that still have a couple years, a couple meat on the bone, and you might be able to get them for a slight discount, but you're playing the game of trying to allure someone for stability and championships, because you're not going to be able to compete with these teams with like the marquee second contract, big type money.
I got the question from...
Didn't Reggie White do that too? But he was older. He was 31.
User chimes in, Budapest for $3 million, Ben, Croatia for $2 million. Now I'm thinking of the beaches in Croatia for $2 million, or... thugging it out. I mean,
Croatia dollar
too.
Go pretty far, I think, compared to Budapest.
Hungary's economy is struggling. I learned a lot this morning at 4 a.m.
Croatia it is. Why 4 a.m.?
Bro, I woke up to pee, and anytime I wake up in the middle of the night to pee, it's a wrap. I can't go back to sleep, so now I'm up for 2 hours.
What are you, 60?
Yeah, I feel, well, because once a week I have to pee in the middle of the night.
Once a week?
Do you turn on the light when it's in the morning?
In the bathroom?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. What? I gotta be able to see everything now.
I go flashlight.
So I don't turn on the light because I would wake up. So I sort of like feel my way there. There's like windows in our bathroom, so I can like use landmarks to figure out where I'm at, and I go ahead and let it rip.
Maybe I should try cracking the window when I pee instead of
don't turn on the
light. The light kills me.
You can't turn on the light.
Flashlight.
Also, this is why in college I always had Gatorade bottles underneath my bed, so I didn't get up. I could just
still disturbing, still so disturbing.
Knowing me, I would forget. I'm so tired. I forget to put the lid on, or it drips. I know you had drips all in your sheets. All in your sheets.
You must have knocked one over at one time. You forgot to put the cap
Never.
on.
Oh god.
But you had drip on your sheets. You 100% had leakage.
It's pee. It's sterile.
It smells though.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Doesn't smell when you're tired. You don't smell it. All right, that was a nasty phase. You're right.
That was disgusting.
You're a better man.
I don't regret it though. I don't regret it.
But thank you for the tip.
How many years did you do that for?
6, 7.
Oh my gosh! I thought it was like 2.
All of college, post college, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I was talking about with Scalzo and Brust.
Yeah,
that's on the air. So that might have been 28.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
That's remarkable.
That's disgusting.
But I have a wife
who
does not allow it.
Does not allow it. Was that a conversation y'all had when y'all moved in together?
Have you ever done it with her in the same bed as you?
No, but when she's out of town, I maybe did it once.
Wow.
What?
That is crazy.
Oh, and she didn't know, did she?
Just
no, but she could be listening, and
what
she'll
do
yell
you
at me.
do with
but
the bottle?
married,
You just threw it in the garbage?
Yeah. Well, no.
I
I tighten it up and I put it on the ground, and then I will throw it away in the morning.
Why don't you pour it into the toilet and flush it? I don't think I want urine bottles just going and floating in the garbage.
Here comes Kyle.
The landfill somewhere.
Sustainability Kyle over here.
You wouldn't recycle those bottles, right? You throw them away.
I don't remember.
That's damaging.
Sustainability Brad.
You are just quite the guy. You are. Without Strofe being here, all your
weird stuff.
Things
he makes me seem more normal than I am.
Yeah, he does.
He's so not normal.
That is disgusting.
Heading to a Bucks game, make Potawatomi Sportsbook your spot because you can catch a shuttle with the free parking they provide. You purchase a drink or a bet, you can get a wristband, and then boom, you're on a shuttle by the annex where you need a wristband to get on, but don't need it on the way back. Shuttles pickups and drop-offs will be 1 hour, 15 minutes before the game, third quarter nonstop after the game. Could you imagine parking, having fun, taking a bus, having fun at the game, taking a bus, having fun again at Potawatomi? It's a dream. It's a dream come true. Bet above the rest to get a shuttle at Potawatomi Casino Hotel's amazing sports book. It's Kyle Brust Dortmund, 94.5 ESPN with Chris Larson, giving us his things and news and tidbits of the day that Kyle can also learn from, like he does when he wakes up in the middle of the night. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Kid's got the longest rope in radio. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
You could take that one of two ways, and I agree with both.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Okay, King. I see you, the confident.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 43 backing up from just before North Avenue all the way down into the Marquette. Now on that roadway, we do have a crash on the ramp to get onto westbound 94 in the Marquette, so that's something to keep in mind. On westbound 94 itself, it slows down right about at 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94, you got backups from about 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Pocket of heavy traffic just west of 27th Street on 894 westbound, not quite to Loomis, and then southbound 894 from Beloit Road down about a mile or so. You're going to see a bit of a delay heading towards the Hale. Traffic is brought to you by Geis Garage Doors. For over 70 years, Geis Garage Doors has been the local trusted name for garage door sales, service, and repair. Visit GeisDoors.com and don't think twice, call Geis. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, showers likely, maybe thunder, a low of 44. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny, windy and warm, a high of 63. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Another two-man scramble tournament is underway. Play TPC Scottsdale for a shot at cash prizes. Must play by February 28th. Sign up now at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Imagine working with a contractor that quits halfway through a project or never calls you back when you have questions. Or worse, takes your money and you never see them again. Unfortunately, we hear about them all the time. Hi, this is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and Siding Unlimited is absolutely not that company. Siding Unlimited has been doing business for 32 years, proving to be an honest, ethical, and forthright company. If you're looking for the honest guys for your next siding, windows, roofing, and doors project, stop by sidingunlimited.com today.
This is Coach Greg Gard. I've lived my whole life in Wisconsin, and I know what people here value: hard work, honesty, and looking out for one another. That's exactly how Bank CMG approaches banking. They combine hometown values with modern tools to help people make confident financial decisions. When you want a bank that understands where you're coming from, Bank CMG makes sense. Visit bankcmg.com or stop by your local branch. Let's get to work.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, it is that season. season. The season of what? The season of love. The season of loving the person that you with, and maybe your children for Valentine's Day. But also, it's time to love your home with some brand new windows, and that's exactly what you can get from my friends at Universal Windows Direct. And what I love about them, KBN Nation, is when my boy Jamie Shea came to the house, he gave me a great consultation. He showed me the different options that they had. He didn't try to upsell me. He gave me exactly what I needed, and my house feels so comfortable. Literally, I left the house on 68 yesterday, and I felt so warm inside of my bedroom. It is because my new energy-efficient windows that keep the cool air out and the warm air in the house and keeps my heating bill from going up. So right now, with Universal Windows Direct, you can buy 2 windows and get 2 free. You can get 0% interest for 36 months, not a single penny of interest for 3 whole years. And since it's the month of love, they got some love for you where you get an additional $500 off your next home improvement project. Call them today at 414-410-2000 or visit them at Universal Windows Direct to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with you till 5 o'clock, leading you into the Homer Hour. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, no Strofe, Chris Larson running the show. And it's time now to hear from what's on Chris's brain.
All right, guys, let's go over some sports stories that we haven't really hit on today's show yet, or maybe some non-sports stories. Let's start off here with, could we see the end of the NBA draft in the near future? Commissioner Adam Silver seriously considering abolishing to combat rapid tanking. While not formally proposed yet, eliminating the draft and turning rookies into free agents is a top option if other anti-tanking measures fail, which include tightening trade restrictions, reforming the lottery, or extreme changes to the draft structure. How would you guys go about preventing tanking in the NBA, and would you be opposed to no NBA draft and just signing draft picks?
Feels weird, but I mean, it's not like crazy. I would miss the nostalgia of like watching the spectacle. And the NBA would be stupid to do this because part of what makes the NFL draft so great is the spectacle of the draft. And I think in the NBA, the first round at least, having the people there and having them announced on stage, it's a cool thing. I mean, I get it. It's not going to happen. He's got to be able to figure out how to enforce rules so they don't purposely do things to hurt the league. So I think figure it out, Adam Silver.
Yeah, it's a small problem. I would say that these teams that stink already are not what's driving any NBA interest anyway. It's always been superstar driven. As long as you have great, interesting superstars, the NBA will be just fine. But this idea of being free agents, I think it's a terrible idea. Why? Because teams like Milwaukee will always be at a disadvantage. If everyone's a free agent, they can just choose wherever they want to go. You're going to go to the big cities. You're going to go to the excitement. You're going to go team up. The draft is what helps equalize everything. So maybe it needs to be tweaked, but I think the lottery is super exciting. I think the draft's exciting.
I have 2 ideas, all right? The first idea is with what he's thinking about doing. And when you are trying to get, and I believe that's how it worked for the Korean baseball organization or whatever it's called.
What?
KBO, the KBO league. I think you put in
probably bet it at some point.
You put in a blind bid for these guys, right? Everybody just puts in a blind bid to bid on which player they want to get. So players don't really get to determine where they get to go, but there's a blind bid for the guys who are lottery picks.
Yeah, it's like a silent auction.
Yeah, something like that, where it's a blind bid.
That's fun.
You don't know what the bids are.
You don't know. You don't know what the bids are, and you know how much each. The worse your team is, a little bit more money that you get, so you do have more money to bid on the best player. But the bottom 5 teams all have the same amount, and so you got to pick and choose. If you bid on all your money on this guy, you may miss out on that other guy. Something like that. But then in addition to that, this is what they should do for real. Instead of finding teams, just deduct percentage points away from their chance to get the first pick. If you cheat, if you do what the Utah Jazz did, right, where you purposely sit guys, say, okay, you're going to get fined this much, but also this is a minus 2 percentage points of getting that first pick. So even if you have the worst record in the league, you're going to lose 2 additional percentage points to be able to get that.
Well, what if I told you that there is a big problem in the NBA? It's how bad their All-Star weekend is and how much the dunk contest sucks.
Horrible.
I had somebody in our office who's an avid NBA fan come to me, and he basically gave me a hear Brad out. Are we open to a hear Brad out guest?
Absolutely.
If he says he can fix the NBA dunk contest?
I would love to hear it.
I thought I was talking.
Nation
I thought I was talking to Brad, which I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing.
Yeah, NBA dunk. Good luck fixing that. It comes down to the players. These guys don't want to be part of it. I blame LeBron James. LeBron didn't want to do it, and it's allowed for everybody else who are superstars not to want to do it. And now all the good players don't want to be in the dunk contest no more. I miss the days of Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter, Michael Jordan being in the dunk contest. Hey, even I believe Tracy McGrady was in it. Dwight Howard was in it. Like, you had all these superstars that decided that when they were young, they were going to be in the dunk contest. But here goes little LeBron thinking he's better than everybody and everything. And he decides that he doesn't want to be in it. Now you got these generation of soft kids that say, well, I'm too good to be in the dunk contest. Stop it. We want to see the stars.
Even if stars were in it, though, like, what are they going to do that's going to make us go, oh, wow, like we've already seen
Well, if you're a star, you want to perform. And if you're put on the spotlight, you're going to perform.
You just can't imagine there's something that a star would do where I'd be like,
I don't know.
Oh,
it's
my
been
gosh,
better with
I must
stars.
Watch this.
So.
I mean, when Blake Griffin was doing it, jumping over cars and being creative, that's what
That
creative.
Was cool.
A 360 dunk is cool, but if Anthony Edwards is doing a 360 East Bay between the legs dunk, I'm gonna say, ooh, like it's more exciting with guys. Who knows who Kashad Johnson was?
Yeah, Chris, what do we got next?
All right, let's move on to college hoops, where the red-hot Wisconsin Badgers ranked 24th in the AP Top 25 after top 10 wins over Illinois and Michigan State. Coupled with their win over now number 1 Michigan, the Badgers are the only team in the country this year with 3 wins over top 10 teams. Bucky takes on Ohio State tonight down in Columbus. Can the Badgers beat anybody in the country when they're on? And do you think they are Final Four worthy with the right draw in the NCAA tournament?
Benny?
They have the talent, yeah. I mean, they've literally beaten Michigan on the road, Illinois on the road, and thumped Michigan State. Now, this is a big test for me, not from this doesn't change the outlook of how talented they are. And I said it, I think when you were out, Brad, I think what hurt the Badgers was having as many losses and as big of losses they did early on in the season. Because right now they're looking at that 8-9 line with
they're
the
top 25 now.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, they're going to rise up.
It doesn't matter what you are in the top 25. That's how you're.
Question about bracketology. Did those early losses weigh less because it was earlier in the season?
No, they've gone away from how you're playing in your last 10. It's the whole body of work. So there's a projection that they're probably moved to an 8 seed right now.
Ouch.
But no, that's fine because they were an 11,
But then
10,
they have a 1.
8.
Oh, yeah.
Which means you play an 8-9, and then you play a 1, which is Duke, UConn, and then that makes it harder to get the second weekend. Now they can play out of that spot if they continue to win. Ohio State, they're actually a 1.5 dog. So this is a test of can you avoid the loss that is going to but keep you in the same spot, right? Did somebody fart or did it smell?
Fart!
I think
somebody bought that bag. You smell that?
Yes. I smell it.
I smell it in here, yeah.
I smell it.
What's
That's
going
strong.
on? Somebody done lit up.
That's strong.
Bob Marley, Snoop Dogg.
That we don't drug test here.
Chris, is that you back there?
It's not me, no. My hands are free.
My eyes getting red. But anyways, when it comes to Wisconsin, just a week ago, I didn't believe that they could upset, they could make a run, which a run will be very hard. But I do, look, Ben sneezing because it's tickling.
Yeah, something tickled.
All right, now.
Something tickling in there.
But the Badgers, Michigan is number 1 in the country. It only has 1 loss.
They're very good.
But very good. Who did they beat? Who beat them?
The Badgers.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
1 loss versus 7 is a big difference.
No. What I'm saying
From a
is
whole
that
body
the Badgers.
Yeah, they can beat anybody. I said that the other day.
At their best, I was very impressed with what they did this week. At their best, they can defeat anybody.
My whole thing is
Brad's getting giggly from the smoke.
I am giggly.
Get high.
Can you avoid a loss tonight that won't hurt your seed, but won't help it either? If it will do more harm than good, right? If you win this game, you're continuing the right direction, and you're staying put or getting closer. As other teams lose, you pass them. If you lose this game, you're kind of staying put, going a step back. If they can win this type of game, that can get them in the 7-6 seed at the end of the year. And now you're not looking at playing a 1 seed in the second round to go to the second weekend.
And there's just not many chances left to continue to grapple up to a higher seed.
If the Badgers are able to only lose 1 more game this year and make it to the semifinals of the Big Ten tournament, they can get to a 6 seed for sure.
For sure, no, they could get to a 5. They're getting run out of time, but that's the point. Is
if you lose one of these games and you beat Purdue, and then you make a run,
that's on the road. That would be crazy to have Purdue, Illinois, and Michigan on the road, the top 3 teams.
It took a week of NFL morning But today's actually the first day where I'm like, I'm excited for college basketball. I'm excited for Brewers season to start. Like it takes Brewers, a minute, but then you're like, wait a minute. The end of the sports calendar continues. It's fun to get into the depths of these other sports.
Well, we'll wrap up the show with a giveaway because Thanalysis Live is back, starring Ric Flair. Woo! On March 27th at 7 p.m. So on the other side, 2 lucky winners. Get those dialing fingers ready. Are going to go to Thanalysis Live at the Riverside featuring Thanasis Antetokounmpo and Ric Flair. We give away those tickets to wrap up the show. Next, don't go anywhere.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
I have never seen BBL together. I've seen BBQ, barbecue. I've seen other things like that. I've never seen BBL.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
A Road at Night is a documentary chronicling former Badgers player and coach Howard Moore and the 2019 tragedy that forever changed his family. You can see it on the big screen at Marcus Point Cinema in Madison, February 13th through the 19th, with exclusive post-screening panels during the opening weekend. A Road at Night, February 13th through 19th at Marcus Point Cinema in Madison. All proceeds support Howard Moore's ongoing care. Find showtimes and get tickets right now at aroadatnight.com.
This Valentine's month, Milwaukee Weight Loss is sharing the love with $300 off during our Valentine's sale. Now through February 28th only. It's the perfect time to fall in love with the result-getting Milwaukee Weight Loss program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. Whether you want to look great for Valentine's Day, an upcoming event, or just for you, you can start losing those unwanted pounds right now. No more losing weight and gaining it back. This program helps you keep the weight off for good. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation today.
Homer here. I've already lost 10 pounds since I started the journey. Now it's your time to show yourself some love with $300 off. Hurry. This Valentine's sale ends February 28th. Patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Call 262-235-3980 now for your free consultation or MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
With Pella, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. And with a 10-year labor warranty, your windows and doors are worry-free for years to come. If something goes wrong, we're here to handle it because you work with the same team from start to finish.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 48 months.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Michelle Smallman.
You are starting over. This is a new era of Miami Dolphins football. It's so crazy how long it's been since they've been relevant or good. The Dolphins should be a team that is good consistently, and they're not. But obviously, John Eric Sullivan is coming in, and he's saying we need to overhaul this entire roster, and these were steps in that direction yesterday. So I'm not surprised, especially coming off that injury and how the production had dipped for Tyreek Hill during his tenure in Miami. And this is, I'm sure, just the first wave of other moves that are to come for Miami. When I think of football, there's certain places that I think of. I think of Texas, and I think of South Florida. I think of Louisiana. I think of places where football is very omnipresent and the culture there. And for some reason, maybe it's the U, maybe it's the undefeated team, maybe it's my affinity for Dan Marino. South Beach should be a place where football is good and football is relevant.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Time now on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman before the Homer Hour to give away some tickets to Thanasis Live, March 27th, 7 p.m. at the Riverside, starring Thanasis Antetokounmpo and Ric Flair. Woo!
Excuse me, it's not legal.
What?
Ric Flair always goes first. It's
Ric Flair and Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Yes.
Styling and profiling.
You don't tell Ric Flair you're second.
Every
You're going
Thanasis
down.
Live show has produced amazing content and surprises and so many different things. So, with that, caller number 8, you're going to win 2 tickets to the Riverside Theater March 27th for Ric Flair and Thanasis Antetokounmpo. 800-990-3776. Caller 8, you're going to win those tickets to Thanasis Live. 800-990-ESPN. That's 800-990-3776.
I feel like Homer needs to get on stage with Ric Flair and the Thanasis.
Ooh, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a manager in professional wrestling. When I was young, Bobby Heenan was just getting started. Now, then I could be a manager. What I would have done is I'd have a boom box, and it would be like so loud that it would have feedback, and then the wrestler would have to go down and get pinned because he couldn't stand the noise. So that was going to be my killer thing.
You're going to be like me, not me. Who was like the pallbearer or Undertaker?
Yeah, but you had to be the. I mean, I couldn't be the wrestler, but I could be the manager.
Walking down the aisle with him. Yeah, Ric Flair was your generation.
Yes, even. Later than my generation, at the beginning was Dick the Bruiser, the Crusher, Blackjack Lines, and my brother, who got a PhD in astrophysics at Princeton, and decided to take us to professional wrestling. We were in South Bend. We drove all the way to Fort Wayne to see Blackjack Lanza, and in the battle of the fights, somebody goes down, and the announcer goes, "Is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor in the house?" And I said to my brother, "If you were a doctor here, would you admit it?" But who would think he was the one who wanted us all to go see professional
wrestling?
wrestling?
But that was personality came out. Ric Flair was one of them. Hulk Hogan, they were all a big personality.
Bobby Heenan was a little bit earlier because this was like 1960.
All right, time out, Brad. Do you have any idea what's going on?
No idea. I heard Hulk Hogan. I know that name.
You know Macho Man Randy Savage.
I know Macho Man.
So I went
Shawn
to.
Michaels,
I saw Bruce Springsteen. I think it was Metallica at the Bradley Center.
Oh wow!
Nobody was as big as Hulk Hogan.
So
Hulk Hogan shows up and there's no way to describe it. It was as if God entered the building. People were screaming, yelling. Yeah, I mean, he's showing up. But I'd never seen energy for a human being equal to that in my life in an arena.
So Ric Flair
for all of the games you've called, that's the
not
biggest?
Even close. Not even close. No, it's not. You can't.
The energy of a
you thought
wrestling,
the building was going to explode.
The energy of a wrestling match is fascinating to me because it's like. It's not real sports.
It's
crazy to me.
Sports. It's just not entertainment.
Strofe is a big wrestling fan. Could you imagine Strofe in a ruckus crowd? I can actually.
I could. It's the Strofes of the world.
I will say like Homer. As a kid,
we argued when I was growing up whether it was real or not. They were at shows like this. They called it, "Shut up, man! It's real. I know it. It's real."
I do remember distinctly because I remember like there was a big jump in popularity when I was probably like 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, WWF.
The Attitude Era.
Yeah, and like even like PlayStation and Xbox had like
games.
So I remember playing that. I never really got into it.
Raw.
I remember my friends saying like same thing. One friend said it's not real. The other person said it is real.
I thought it was real.
It's not real. Why would people be doing this if it's not real?
People are getting hit in the head with a chair
like the NFL. Then
you can't fake
look
that.
this up. They had to go to court to save money to admit it was entertainment.
Oh, really?
And someone can.
The chair sounds real when it hits the head.
No, you wouldn't believe people would call in. And the show would spend a whole afternoon people arguing over whether it was real or not.
Y'all don't realize I had disdain for the World Wildlife Federation for suing for the name WWF. I refuse. I to this day I don't like calling it WWE. I'm like, that's WWF.
It is too bad. WWF sounds so good.
It was fantastic. I had such a great childhood going to the Mecca where they had sporting events, and then they had it at the Bradley Center.
So you've been...
When I say I grew up a wrestling fan, Me and my brother used to go to Blockbuster, right? Because my grandpa was a big wrestling fan. We used to go to Blockbuster and get the old school videos, VHS tapes, just to watch the wrestling tapes from like the 60s and the 70s.
I thought it was real until I saw this wrestler, Bobo Brazil. Now, he was like 6'9", 300
The names are insane, too.
No.
How can this be real with these names?
This ain't real. He could beat him just by pushing him over. And, you just see somebody because, like, those guys were
Was
big,
Andre the Giant
he was huge.
Yes.
Huge. Died too young.
That was that. I had accepted that it was fake before Andre the Giant, but if I'd have been the age to see him, there's no way.
Bobo Brazil was a big man. That's a big
I got to
man.
look up this guy, Bobo Brazil.
He big brother. Very big brother.
I mean, who's the most famous wrestler? The Rock?
Currently, The Rock is famous. The new generation likes
he is big.
What's the guy with the hand?
Roman Reigns,
No,
Cody Rhodes.
he
John
just retired.
Cena.
John Cena.
John Cena just retired.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart.
Oh, yeah,
Shawn
Stroke
Michaels.
was crying for a week when John Cena retired.
The biggest in his prime, I still think, was Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
but
Hulk
I-
Hogan.
Hard to
Legendary.
beat that kind of popularity.
Legendary.
Is Ric Flair a wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a combo wrestler.
I
You
don't
didn't know Ric Flair was
Hold
a
on, but
wrestler?
Wait, why have you mentioned him among the greatest? then?
Don't tell Rick I said this, but if you hadn't known it was fake, when he got in and some of the guys he beat, you knew it was fake. He was like half their size.
He was cool. Ric Flair was the man.
I thought
he had all the ladies. He was the man.
I thought he was a manager.
Still
I
think
thought he was a manager, not a wrestler.
Well, he
I
can
think
wrestle,
was both.
too.
Yes, he did.
Can't wait. I cannot wait for the analysis. I'm gonna meet Ric Flair.
No, after that, as teammates of Thanasis,
You'll
we
look at
can't
him and tell a
fanboy
friend.
over the guest, so you're not invited anymore.
I'm fanboying over Ric Flair.
All right, Homer Hour's up next.
We've got a couple of issues on 40.